All right, all right, all right, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Yeah, welcome to Afriq. Welcome to Afriq newspaper review. Of course, it's a wonderful morning. I know some of you have really waited for this. Some of you have really waited for this because it is hot outside here. You'll find that the news is hot outside here. I can see Wilson is already following. A good year, good morning. A long time. Not see how many hours we've not seen each other. So karibuni sana. This is another wonderful opportunity that we have to discuss. And you know what is hot? Good year. I think you know what is making stories, and we want to look at it. An end of era as Raila leaves Kenyan politics for African top job. Now that Baba have tried becoming the Kenyan president 5 times and he've not been successful, he've now decided that he's going for African presidency. He now wants to be African president. So will he manage? Will he manage? That is what we want to look at today. And I have two newspapers with me. Of course, I'll start with the Standard. I'll start with the Standard. And one of the shouting stories there, if you open your Standard, the bold newspaper, the first thing that they placed here is Raila. Why I want to be CEO Africa. Why I want to be Africa's CEO. So crowning moment, Raila Odinga, the master of Kenyan politics, is going for the top continental job. And in a twist of irony, he will require the backing of his fierce critic, President Ruto, to actualize it. Yesterday, Olusegun Obasanjo met with Ruto after surprise announcement. Yes, you all saw it. The first it happened that Obasanjo met with Raila at his home in Karen. Then after that, he went ahead and met with William Ruto. That is after the surprise announcement. Why? Simply because for Raila to be able to clinch this seat, he needs recommendation from the head of state. And in this case, the head of state, who is also member of the assembly, among the people who are going to participate in this election, is his fierce enemy or critic, political enemy. But I know they're friends at the personal level, William Ruto. So will William Ruto recommend him? We'll wait and see. So this is what is happening. Olusegun Obasanjo said, former Nigerian leader said this: I have no doubt that my friend who is standing next to me is the right person to take over the mantle. If the EAC region backs him, I believe the rest of the continent will support him. There is this man, Professor Macharia Munene, is saying that the government is interested in sending Raila out there in the assumption he will stop being a rallying point for troublemakers. Ruto will work hard to get the African Union accept him. Yes. What is your say? MC Jesse Moas, karibu sana. It's a wonderful morning. Happy to see you. This is what the people are saying. Experts are saying that, because Raila wants to become the CEO of Africa. And for him to participate in this kind of election, he needs recommendation from the head of state. And in this case, the head of state is His Excellency, the President, William Ruto. So people are saying that it is going to happen and Raila should count it done. Why are they saying Raila should count it done? Because William Ruto doesn't want Raila here doing national politics. He is uncomfortable with Raila back in the country. They tried to take Raila to Bondo. It seemed they forgot that Bondo is part of Kenya. So back there at Bondo where they took Raila, Raila is still giving them a headache. So how do they ensure that Raila doesn't disturb them here? Send him to AU. You know very well when he's sent there, he'll have to forego all active political activities within the country. So that is why they are saying that William Ruto, people think that, it's rumored that William Ruto is the one who recommended his removal from the previous post, post when he was the High Commission for Infrastructure. But now people are asking, if he needs to be recommended by William Ruto and William Ruto recommended his removal, will William Ruto recommend him? Yes, William Ruto is going to recommend him very early in the morning. simply because he knows very well that is the only way to remove Raila so that he can be able to move well with his plans. Goodyear is saying, sorry, Leo, the Azimio's La Umoja supporters were and have been played. I've always known this. Why are people surprised? Should always read in between the lines. How have they been played? Yes, Goodyear, tell us. They are listening. Some of them are following. They should tell you. Why are you saying they've been played? Raila tried becoming the president of Kenya for the last 5 elections, all in vain. Now there's an opportunity of him becoming the president of Africa. Why can't he go for it? Eh? I beg to understand. This is the real last resort for Raila. If he loses this, it will translate to being rejected both at home and in Africa. Catastrophic. He must play his cards well. Mhm. But do you think somebody is saying that he needs to count it? Because I know if William Ruto, with him, if he uses his continental connection and the president also sends his envoy to campaign for him, first of all, he gets the 11 ESC countries, then that is a plus for him. But people are saying William Ruto is going to ensure he gets there because taking Raila there is going to relieve him. Just like you have a kid who is disturbing you at home, ukiweka vitu na shikashika. So the only thing you can do is to ensure that this child get admitted in school so that akuondolee stress kidogo. Let us wait and see. On the same page, the first page, there's also some hope. You can be able to see that there's fresh hope as shilling rebounds. The Kenyan currency hit a new high against the dollar after the treasury booked billions from investors to pay shillings 2 billion US dollar Eurobond. This is so strange. For those people who maybe check on the Forex or those people who trade on foreign currencies, there have been some good news. For the last 2 days, the Kenyan shilling has been gaining against the dollar, with the yesterday hitting the best. I think it was the best that we've not been experiencing. But things change. I think those people who did some exchange early in the morning before noon, $1 US was going at around 100, lowest 138 Kenyan shillings. But things change at night from 6. It shoot again from 138 to 150. It shot by how many? That is over 10 shillings. But they're saying there's some good news. This one happened after Kenya booked 2 billion US dollars. That is another Eurobond. And this money is going to be used in June to pay the Eurobond that we borrowed some time back in the first regime of Uhuruto. So people are asking themselves, why is it that the day we've borrowed this money, the day we've borrowed this money, our shillings started gaining? Could it be that somebody is making money? Because our shillings is gaining. We borrowed $2 billion US dollars, then our currency is gaining. So if somebody used that money, or maybe somebody bought dollars by that time, then you'll find that these people are going to make a lot of money. I don't want to speculate, but that is what is happening. Our shilling is gaining, which is some great news over there. You can be able to see it reached highest that has never been reached for the last how many days? For the last several years, actually. Imagine we were at 160 something and it dropped up to 138. Let us wait and see what is going to happen today. Still on the same note, I'll go to the second page. The safety of Kenyans athletes should be top priority, leaders demand. This is after Kenyans, I don't want to say carelessly, lost Kiptum. Then there've been a lot of debate that these athletes need to be given security. They need to be taken care of, not only in security and even the medication. It was so sad that we lost a young champion, somebody who broke records. So leaders are saying that their security should be top priority. They should be given VIP protection, from the words of Langata MP Jalas. Page 4 is now explaining what Raila, telling you that Raila needs Ruto's full support for AU crowning moment. Political scientists argue that even though Obasanjo's backing is significant, it is not enough to guarantee opposition leader the position. potential selection of Azimio leader could have significant implications for local politics. So Azimio leader Raila Odinga will need the help of the President William Ruto and the government if he is to actualize his ambition of becoming the chairperson of the African Union Commission, that is AUC. Speaking in Nairobi yesterday, Raila, in company of former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, declared that he's ready to bear the responsibility of the position if called to do so. I'm ready to go for the chairmanship of the African Union. I've been consulting widely with the friends. Obasanjo is one of my closest friends in the continent, and I've intimated to him that if there should be interest, I will be keen to serve the continent. That is what happened yesterday. So what about the track record? The track record, you'll find that Raila stressed on the importance of selecting a candidate with profound understanding of Africans' complexity and proved track record of effective governance. Remember, Raila have been a former prime minister. Raila have been an MP. Raila have been a cabinet secretary, what you used to call a minister. You've been a prime minister. You've been a representative, that is the UN High Commission, AU High Commission representative on the matters of infrastructure. Just like the current chair, Musa Faki was also a former prime minister of Chad. So he has what it takes. So already Prime Minister, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi is in Addis Ababa, where he is drumming up support for Raila and his bid. Wow. Mudavadi is already there, drumming up support for him. Good year. What do you have to say? This position has always been brewing. Don't forget the handshake and the micro meetings with Ruto. I feel like sending the supporters to protest. We are just a disguised support to them. Oh, this is what is happening. I know later on I'm going to be joined. Those people, if you want to join me in studio, I'm going to send a link so that you can use that link to join the studio and take part in this conversation. And later on, few minutes, in maybe 20-30 minutes, I'm going to have a bunch of panelists here. And we are really going to look at this issue of AU in details. That is what we are going to do later on. So just keep it here, 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 keep it here as we proceed. So already Standard is reporting that Mudavadi is already in Addis Ababa, and there they're going to meet with Obasanjo. He is already drumming support. They're already campaigning for Baba. Yes. I have no doubt that my friend could be a viable candidate. That is what Obasanjo said. After the press statement, Obasanjo then went to meet the president over the issue. Yes, after that, Obasanjo went and met William Ruto and told him that, look, my friend is going for this seat. Maybe he went to convince him or other. So in March last year, you'll find the Ruto, Raila and Obasanjo secretly met in Mombasa. Oh, I get this. Where they hammered a pact which, among other things, saw the opposition halt the street demonstrations, which had paralyzed the nation. Yeah. So these secrets are now coming out. Good day, we are coming there. This is the time for Raila to pay loyalty back to Kalonzo. This is a debate that we've been having, and of late you've been hearing people saying, oh, Raila is existing. It's people who've been saying that, Raila must win the ballot. But if he gets this seat, then there's no way he will be on the ballot in 2027. And Kalonzo should start kujipanga. We are going to look at that. So we are told that these guys met that in March. That is Obasanjo, Raila, and Ruto. And that is when they decided to end the demonstrations. Ironically, even as Raila hopes to ride on Ruto's support, there was a lot of controversy in February last year when the opposition chief unceremoniously left the position of African Union Commission Special Envoy for Infrastructure Development. So at the time, Raila's supporters blamed Ruto and his government, accusing them of contributing to Raila's removal for spearheading the mass protest. Regarding yesterday's development, political scientist and AU expert Professor Amkoa Anagwe argues that even though Obasanjo's backing is significant, it is not enough to guarantee Raila's position. Obasanjo is an opinion shaper, but I don't think he has the leverage to decide who becomes the chair. Experts emphasize that Johnny's orders and involving extensive consultations among the heads of state, strategic lobbying efforts within the region and across the continent, as well as careful as assessment of the countries and candidates standing within the African community. So these guys are saying that Raila will have to need Ruto's support to go and lobby for this position. Still at glance, it is Raila's personal decision to join AU, says Jubilee Party boss. Remember, the Jubilee members also had a meeting yesterday. The Jubilee members also had a meeting yesterday, and in their meeting, they had to deliberate on several things. So they said, Jubilee has said that Azimio will remain intact. This is a question people are asking. Yeah, it is here in standard page 5. It is Raila's personal decision to join AU, says Jubilee Party boss. Jubilee has said that Azimio will remain intact despite a decision by ODM leader Raila Odinga to seek position in the African Union. Jubilee Party leader Jeremiah Kioni termed the move Raila's personal decision and noted that the coalition will remain united. To take up leadership in AU by Raila Odinga is certainly a personal decision and his family. As Azimio, we are pushing for the leadership of this country as a team. He added that in the event that one of us finds themselves unable to be part of the team, then we will continue. The game does not end there. Kioni spoke on Thursday after meeting the party's Nairobi County 2027 aspirants at the party offices. Watu wameanza siasa za 2027. Yeah, it is not early. It's all, in fact, it is late. He said the opposition party will not be shaken by Raila's decision to contest as AU chair. Kioni's sentiments came a few hours after Raila made a statement at his current residence declaring his intent to go for the AU job. Raila spoke after weeks of speculation about his interest to contest for the AU post. Kioni, who is also in an Azimio co-principal, said they do not regret the decision, but of course, we will always benefit from the experiences from those who have been there before. He said, referring to Raila as among those that opposition leaders have learned from. So Jubilee have already confirmed that Azimio will remain intact. Nothing is going to happen, despite the fact that Raila is going for the top seat. That is what Standard is reporting. That is Raila's personal decision, and it doesn't affect the coalition. So those people who thought that if Raila goes for that top position, then Jubilee, ODM, NAC Kenya, Roots, and all those parties forming Azimio are going to be jeopardized. You've been told that it is not going to happen. Good morning, Mr. Boniface. Can you
Morning,
hear me?
sir.
Oh, how are you
Yeah, I can
today?
hear you, but the volume. Today is so fine, actually. A very hot sun.
No, that's good. We're just looking at the newspapers, and what we found on the first page is what everybody has been talking of is that Raila explaining why he wants to be CEO, in African CEO. And the developing story on the second page is telling us that Musalia Mudavadi is already in Addis Ababa lobbying for Raila's candidature. He's already in Addis Ababa telling people that, you see, guys, you need to vote for us, this gentleman. So, what do you think of this? Is it a good sign that the government is already backing up Raila's candidature?
Uh, in one way or the other, I told you yesterday that politics is a mind game. So I don't know if the government is trying to back up the Azimio leader coalition, that is Raila. Maybe if he is supporting Raila, then
Yeah.
that is good because we want peace in the country. But again, Raila should make sure that the opposition is strong, ever, ever. That is how Kenyans will remember Raila
Hmm.
used to be. If he goes without leaving a strong leader who will be monitoring what is going in opposition, then we will face a lot of challenges. Let's make sure we get, that is my emphasis, that
Uh-huh.
we get someone who is making sure that this opposition will remain forever and ever. So if the government is backing up Raila so that he can be the chairman for AU, then Raila should go back and make sure that he gets someone who is strong and able to be the leader and someone who can speak for the Kenyans. Because we Kenyans, we believe that without opposition, we cannot go far.
Mm.
Yeah.
Without opposition, we cannot move forward. Yeah.
We cannot go far because opposition is the one that pressures the government to attain what they promised to the Kenyans.
I get you. I get you. I get you. So we need opposition. And if you look at the other page of the standard, the Jubilee is saying that is Raila's personal decision and it is not going to affect the opposition. Opposition is still strong and they'll have to move on, even if Raila will not be there. So people should not be worried. So should we trust them?
Maybe we can trust them, but again, we have to make sure our antennas are up so that we will not get into troubles when it comes to 2027. That we don't have anyone who will be willing to contest and give pressure to the UDA contestant. And we know very sure that the president will be vying 2027. So we make sure that we have someone who is strong. Someone is strong. I don't think whether I have seen a suggestion that Babu Wino can be the president, Jalango. I've seen those suggestions. The Oma Bay senator. I've seen those suggestions. But I don't think whether they are able to give pressure to the government. Because, you know, when you are dealing with President William Ruto, Ruto is very brilliant. And the team that makes UDA, they have IQ of high percentage. So they are brilliant and they know how to handle politics. You know? So, and we know that our president is the biggest PR in Africa. I don't think whether we have any other president who has that ability to PR the public relation, that is the entire citizen, so that they can buy. You know, before election, we saw that president, everyone else, even the Mama Bonga, even the Bona Bona, was singing Uda, Uda, Uda.
Yeah, everybody, people are really
to make sure
happy.
He induces.
I get you. People were really happy and everybody was saying Oda, 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 Oda. So could it be that they were given a lot of promises that now cannot be fulfilled and now they feel they are disappointed?
Those promises, I don't, you know, when it comes to presidency, change of reigns. Of course, at times I can back up the presidency. You know, change of reign. It is always very difficult. So maybe we can give the president almost the next 1 year, because we have seen the kind of things he has been doing. We give him the next 1 year, so that we can see whether he is going to accomplish what he promised to Kenyans.
I get you.
Yeah.
There's that one sounds true. Good Dia is telling us that the AU chair is not guaranteed. Those African committee people have to vote. We have to wait for the results. What happened next if the union doesn't appoint him? We have to be ready for any eventuality. Yeah, that is what we are looking at. In any eventuality that he doesn't make it, I think he'll still be back home and will still be maybe concentrating on the Kenyan politics. But what happens here is that all these guys will have to vote for him. So he needs to do his lobbying well. He needs to use his connection, and also he needs the support of the government through the Foreign Affairs Ministry, and something that Standard is reporting that Mudavadi is already in Addis Ababa doing the lobbying and the campaign. So will he really manage to clinch this post? So people are asking that. And if he doesn't, what are some of the eventualities? Remember, good year, that we are also having a bipartisan the committee, the NADCO report that is supposed to be tabled in Parliament, which proposed the opposition for the leader of opposition. So I don't know what is going to happen, because somebody might think it is like it's like a double bet. There is a position here. Could it be that is the reason why that one is still delayed, because it has not yet been tabled and they are quiet on it? They are quiet on it. So Bonfas Goodyear is asking, in case he fails to get it, what is going to happen?
In case Azimio
Raila doesn't
leader
get the
fails to
position.
get the, of course, definitely is going to get back to the grassroots politics.
Mm.
So if he
He
gets
will
back,
get back
and
to his position na endelee. Will it not mean, somebody
you know,
said, hiyo itamaanisha kuwa he been rejected home and away?
but let me tell you, when it comes to politics,
Yeah.
one thing I blame, I know Raila has been so good when it comes to politics, but again, the team that composes the Azmio, they need to
Uh-huh.
upgrade to make sure they are going to make this election to be the best. You know, when you're choosing those people or those accompaniments during election, make sure
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to IT department, you get someone who is excellent. When it comes to a monitoring election, you get someone who is excellent. When it comes to uh, anything that involves election, even those who are in those remote areas, make sure you get someone who is very accurate and making sure that every vote of the Azmio leader counts.
Mm-hmm.
So if we make
Mm-hmm.
sure that every vote counts, then we're going
Mm-hmm.
to make it. But if you get someone who is going there, someone who can be lured by money, don't get someone who can be lured by money. During election,
Mm-hmm.
that is the time you can be the best article, beat the best article. And when you beat the best article, sure, any vote will count for Azmio. I'm not supporting Azmio, but as a journalist, you have to be neutral. But again,
Mm-hmm.
I feel so bad when at times I see that Azmio, a leader, loses the election at the end. Even from the start, he's doing well, but at the end, you see that he has
Yeah.
lost the election. Why? The team
Uh-huh.
that is composed by Azmio, they need to upgrade and make sure they are the
Uh-huh.
best. Never making mistake. So if Raila loses in IU, definitely is going to get back.
Uh-huh.
And if he's not willing to vie, then he's going to support an other candidate who has been endorsed by the Azimio. But again,
Could
I
we
think nowadays
say
they are
could
trying.
could we say that this is the best opportunity for him to return favor, and give it to Kalonzo and say, "Oh, Kalonzo, now you have my full backing."
Uh, I think now even everyone knows that Kalonzo, now it's time to back up this camperman.
Mm-hmm.
So if you back up the camperman, and again, the camperman now should be able to make sure that every counties in Ukambani, that is Kitui, Machakos, and Makueni, they deliver big number of
Uh-huh.
votes, so that we can be backed up by the Luos and those who entails Azimio. That's the only way we are going to win this election. And again, the team, again, the very important person in this election is
Yeah.
someone who is monitoring using the information technology
Uh-huh.
skills, the IT person.
I get you. I get you. I
Yeah.
get you. I get you. I get you. There is a comment there. Somebody is saying that this is a very sensitive topic, so we have to take Azimio supporters with us. Most of them are sick because of the situation. Why do you think, Bernard Bonfaz? Is it true that people are sick because of the situation?
I don't think, but that is someone point of view. You can take any views from anyone.
Hmm.
So maybe he can be sick, but
Like,
you
if you
can take
think, why do
views
you
from.
think? Why would somebody get sick? Sick?
Someone can get sick because some people are so loyal to Baba.
Oh, so that kind of loyalty, eh? There are people who are
Yeah,
used to Baba and they can't imagine a situation where Baba is not there. Is that one what you
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Like
okay.
Babu, that
Uh-huh.
MP for Kamukunji,
Uh-huh.
Honorable Ali Nur.
Uh-huh.
There is even the this Edwin Sifuna. Hey,
Uh-huh.
that one cannot go
Uh-huh.
without Baba. Yeah. So those
Oh,
are some of people who are loyal to Baba. and they make sure they are any time close to Bab.
All right. I'm also getting some breaking news there, some sad news there that the Busia Senator Okia Omtata was today involved in a road accident in Kisumu while heading to Busia. So I think we hope he recovers, or we wish him some quick recovery. Remember, he's among the people that are rumored that should be taking care, uh, should be replacing Baba. Shall Baba be away? He is among the people
Yeah.
who are seen as possible individuals who can take care of opposition and challenge the government. Yeah, so he's a key figure that people cannot wish away. So I can see Jeff Mburu is also there. Jeff Mburu, good morning from this end. Hello. Oh, Jeff is still configuring. So Goodyear is telling me that you see these people who are crying, the people were shocked because they were banking on Raila. But you'll find that Goodyear, apart from banking on Raila, these people have always been having options. And whenever they are discussing, they normally have those people that they believe can take over after Raila, the people they believe that can comfortably replace Raila. But I know with that, Jubilee has already confirmed to them that all is well. The opposition is not going to maybe be broken apart, and the opposition is still going to stand strong. Uh, Besides Raila going for the top job. So the question that we need to ask is that what is going to happen if Raila gets that top job? Will it be the end of Azimio? Jubilee has already told you no, it will not be the end of Azimio. But you, as a follower, as somebody who understands Azimio and understands the politics of Kenya, you can be able to have some divergent opinion. You know, the Jubilee has spoken as a party, and we've seen several political parties denying the obvious and telling us some information that are never taken into consideration. For example, many a times we used to be told that you see, Jubilee is one, yet there was a party called UDA that was being formed. So when you see these political parties or these political leaders telling you they are united, and such kind of things, you need to think twice. So, Jeff, good morning.
Morning, how are you, Mr. Rio?
I'm fine, thank you. We are just having a fine morning over here.
Yes,
And there are
please.
some news that is hitting us. If you're looking at all the newspapers, that Raila has declared his candidature for the AU Commission chairperson, and he is really going for it. So the first question that we're asking is that will Raila manage to clinch that seat? Then, if he managed to clinch that seat, what is going to happen to the political setup in Kenya? Remember that the
Yeah, I can
Kenyan
see Jeff
politics has
that
yeah, Kenyan politics has always been defined with Raila, and the elections has always been you either support or oppose Raila. Actually, what is the politics going to be like in 2027 without Raila's image over there? Karibu sana.
Uh, Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. So it's good that you have clarified that he has not been given the position yet, but he is a candidate. I don't know how many people they are who are competing for that position, but I believe these positions are acquired by those people with wide network. And Raila Odinga is one of those people who have very wide network. And I know he is supported by the president of Kenya, William Ruto. He has network of almost all the heads of state. So it will depend with who are the competitors, who are other people who are eyeing for the same position. So I believe that Raila Odinga will get that position. There is a very high possibility because when you hear that he is going for it, he is in agreement maybe with so many heads of state, including his friend Obasanjo, who is also currently a very influential figure. So for me, I think he will get that position. There is a very high possibility. And it is not a loss to the nation of Kenya having somebody heading all the nations of Africa from Kenya, that means Kenya will be heading Africa. That's a beautiful thing. And he can use that position to foster or to further our trade, to support our trade, also to support investors, or to sell Kenya out there so that we can have investors. He can sell Kenya as the best tourism destination. He can also, through his position, look for funds for development of Kenya. So it is a good thing. It is a good thing. And as we proceed, I will discuss more the merits and the demerits of having Raila Odinga exit from the politics of Kenya. So my prayer is he gets the position, because we have advantages and disadvantages, which we're going to discuss as we proceed.
That is really true, and already we are told that if I looked at the second page of the Standard, that the Foreign Affairs Minister, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, is already in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, trying to lobby and campaign for Raila's candidature. I can see Simba Netaya. Good morning, Simba. Still
He's
sleeping.
like he's frozen.
Let me unmute him. Oh, Simba, can you hear me? Okay, we will wait for him. We will wait for him.
You are muted. You are muted, Mr. Simba.
Simba, you can try to unmute yourself. Then from there we can proceed. I think
tell him to talk.
connection.
Tell him to talk without the gadget, the earphones. I think the earphones are giving him some
the
trouble.
problem is he will just join. So maybe I already asked Boniface this. I remember, Jeff, if I looked at the Standard, it was reporting that Raila needs, let me just show you that page if I can be able to get it. Raila will have to need, yeah, it's here. Raila needs Ruto's full support for AU crowning moment. So the question I'm asking you, after the 2022 elections, when the opposition called for some demonstrations, during that time is when we saw Raila's some surprising exit from the position he was holding as the High Commissioner AU infrastructure and such kind of things. And it was rumored that it is William Ruto who recommended for his removal because of the activities that were going on in the country. But now it's William Ruto who has to recommend him to contest, because as he's going to contest, he will get support from other people like the Obasanjo, the president from different African countries who are members of the assembly. But most important, he needs to be recommended from his country, and the person who has got the responsibility of doing that is the head of state, who is William Ruto. And remember, these are people who are opposing each other. They belong to different political parties and they don't believe in each other's ideology. So do you think William Ruto is going to recommend Raila for this position?
Definitely yes. Number one, what I would like Kenyans to know is that politicians are not what they say in public. These people are friends. Just some few months ago, the deputy president told Kenyans that there was a meeting between Raila Odinga and William Ruto in Mombasa. And could be this is one of the deals that they made, that I'll give you a government piece, I will not disturb you, but I need something to do. And this could be one of the negotiations that they had. Apart from that, who else want Raila to exit from politics, from active politics, more than the current president? So it's an advantage for the government of William Ruto. So whatever support Raila Odinga will require to exit from active politics, I can assure you he'll get it from the president, because it is an advantage to the president himself and also to Kenya Kwanza government. And as we proceed, I'll tell you why I think so.
Simba is still struggling to connect. Mr. Boniface, Jeff is saying that this thing is a win-win situation for both the Kenya Kwanza government and the opposition leader Raila Odinga, in that the Kenya Kwanza are not comfortable with Raila being in the country. They are not comfortable with Raila doing politics. And one of the code of conduct for those people who are becoming the AU chairman is that you have to leave the active politics. And if you have to participate in politics, then you have to do it as a voter. Meaning if Raila is elected there, then the only thing he can do back in Kenya is to go and vote just as me and you. But he cannot even call a political rally or participate actively in politics. So Jeff is saying that this is an advantage to the Kenya Kwanza regime because they don't want to see Raila in this kind of politics. It's like Raila is irritating them. So the only way to treat this, because they did not manage to take him to Bondo, is now to take him to AU. And on the other side of Raila, it's also going to be an achievement. Do you agree with that? Boniface, do you agree that this thing is going to benefit both sides, both Raila and the Kenya Kwanza government, or William Ruto in specific? It seems Boniface have dropped, but I know Simba, if you can be able to maybe unmute yourself, I think it will be fine. Try and ensure that you can unmute yourself. That's okay. That's okay.
Nancy, we also want Nancy in the show.
And another thing, Jeff, that you've said that because it is a win situation, William Ruto is going to do anything possible to see Raila there, because this one is going to relieve him of the local pressure that is within the country. So I have this question. You know, the position of the AU, like that position, how influential it is and how powerful it is. Can't you see that William Ruto will not like Raila to have that kind of influence at the continental level?
Why not? Because number one, it's not just an advantage to William Ruto. It is also an advantage for Kenya. William Ruto has nothing to lose when Raila is not active in politics. He has something to gain. There is nothing as paramount as peace of the country, and especially when you are the president. That is the most important thing that you can pray for or agitate for. So when Raila Odinga and the Kenya Kwanza government are at loggerhead, I can tell you the president gets so much disturbed. So for the Kenya Kwanza government to be in a position to implement all the projects that or the agenda that they have, they need peaceful environment. And the only person who can disturb them and for them to fail to achieve what they want to achieve is Raila Odinga. There is nobody who has a large support like the one Raila Odinga has in the nation of Kenya. So it is also an assurance that William Ruto will have 10 years undisturbed as the president of Kenya, because the only person who is a threat to the power of William Ruto is Raila Odinga. Without Raila Odinga, William Ruto it will just be a walkover, because we don't have someone who can challenge him. We don't have anybody of the caliber of William Ruto. The only person who can weigh almost the same as William Ruto is Raila Odinga. So I can tell you without fear of contradiction, if there is something William Ruto is praying for day and night together with Rachel, is for Raila Odinga to get this position, because that is the only way that they will be assured of working peacefully, without which there will be a lot of political temperatures, high temperatures in Kenya, because you know what it means when somebody like Raila Odinga is not busy somewhere. That is why even Uhuru Kenyatta had to look for a position for him. Uh, and this will be a good position for him, which will also
Yeah.
make, the chairperson of AU earns even more than the president of Kenya. So it's a win for Raila Odinga. It will also be a win to William Ruto and his government. So it is something that he really wish it happens. And also for me, I want Raila Odinga to go and go to.
Why do you want Raila? Okay, why do I have to ask you this? Because when this news, hit the media houses,
If he gets a book, yes.
we saw people complaining, and even the comment section, see people saying, oh, you see, Raila sasa hapa ametuacha peke yetu, ametubetray. Like, there are people who they want Raila back home more than they would see him in the continental arena. So why would you want Raila to go while others want Raila to be here?
I want him to go because it means peace for Kenya. It means so many things for the nation of Kenya. When Raila Odinga is in active politics,
Yeah.
like now the threats that we have been having, we don't know, we are going to have demonstrations. That scares investors away. It also causes people not to have confidence doing business in the country. Even the locals, sometimes they prefer going to work outside or to do businesses outside because there is a lot of uncertainty. So it means great stability for the nation. And the only person who was shaking the Kenya Kwanza government is Raila Odinga. Kalonzo Musyoka cannot be in a position to disturb William Ruto because this is what we call character. And there is also what we call somebody being in a position to build his political base. The only person with a strong, staunch political base with people who can literally do anything for him is Raila Odinga. Without Raila Odinga in Kenya,
No, we are coming back to that. We are coming back to
yes,
that because already Jubilee also spoke and they said that, look, that is Raila's personal decision and it is not going to affect our coalition in any way or the other. The Azimio will still remain strong and will still operate the way we've been operating, keep on opposing the government the way we've been doing. Before I welcome, I can see Sipanetaya. There's some nice cartoon in standard there. If you see somebody who is carrying the chair, Raila is now lifting the AU chair, moving forward, and behind him there is an arrow showing back the presidential race 2027. So, and he's saying a bird in hand is worth two in State House. I think you understand what the cartoon implies
that's
because
a critical. That's
yeah,
a critical thinker there,
yeah,
which is true. We don't want Raila Odinga to do another guesswork for the seventh time.
mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm,
this one is a more powerful position for what he has been looking for in Kenya.
uh-huh,
He will become powerful. He will become more influential, not just in
uh-huh.
Kenya, but globally. So I can tell you for sure, this is the best position for Baba because also his age qualifies him to hold such a position.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody is speaking. Boniface.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, let me give it to you. Let me give it to you,
Yeah,
Boniface, because
me.
that thing is still.
I'm a diet supporter of Baba.
Yeah, I'm giving it to you. Just a minute. Just. Yeah, that's how we do it here. Boniface has declared he's a diehard supporter of Baba. So now these people are saying that what is happening? Baba amesema a bird is in hand is worth two in the State House. 2027 akiangalia ni mbali, but akiendelea it means 2027 he will be locked out of campaigns because this thing is going to expire in February 2027. And if it expires in February 2027, for sure, Raila can't come back in February and campaign and win elections in August 2027. It is practically impossible, because while he will be at this position, he is barred from political activities. Die-hard supporter of Baba, Boniface Kimanzi, what do you have to say about it?
I think
Boniface.
Baba should have given us someone who is able to represent. Yeah, I think you are hearing me.
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
I mean, Baba should give us someone who is able to represent the Azimio Party coalition. Because if Baba leaves, then who will be the representative of that strong party? And again,
Let
I
me
need
ask
Baba
you,
to be the president of this
Boniface.
Republic of Kenya, because I believe he has more powers than even Ronald Gala and Field Marshal Mudhoni and Dedan Kimathi. I love Baba. I am a supporter of Baba. But again, the team that composes of Azimio, they are not giving us the qualities to be the president of this Kenya. The team that composes of
Boniface.
Azimio, they are so,
Boniface.
yeah.
Boniface, you've said you're a supporter of Baba. That
Yeah,
means you subscribe to Azimio.
yeah.
Azimio is having more than 10 political parties, and these parties are having leaders. So why don't you see these people have potential members who can take over from Baba? Do you want to tell me if Baba is not there today, Azimio is dead?
The then if Baba, this is the high time now Baba can endorse someone. Someone who is endorsed by Baba. Even me, I'll go die to that person, because Baba has those capabilities to know who is the next king of that party coalition. And again, Baba, he should not leave the political forum like that. I need him to be the president of this country. Looking back in 1994, whatever happened in 1994, I don't think whether Baba can leave this country without being the president. I need Baba to be the president of this country. Now we are in the year 2024. Only 3 years remaining so that we can have these elections. Let's have time. Give Baba time. I think he can forgo this position for AU and come back to president. I want him to be the president. Only one day to see
Boniface,
Baba.
here is a situation. Baba tried to become the president of Kenya 5 times, and it hasn't been successful. But now there's an opportunity for him to become the president of Africa, and his chances of becoming the president of Africa are higher than waiting for 2027. Like, he's enjoying an early lead. He is comfortably enjoying the support, and this is an election whereby there will be no irregularities, like things get rigged or such kind of things, because there are only few people who are going to participate in this election, and you can be able to count them and say Jeff voted for me, so and so voted for me. You can be able to count your votes within few minutes. Why do you think Baba should not go for this, and maybe to prove a point that, okay, you see, I've always been rigged in Kenya. It has never been fair. You see, I can now win some fair kind of elections, to do away with the things that people have been saying, that, you see, Baba cannot win anything. Why do you want to make him wait for three years again when he can get it this year? Boniface, are you there?
Yeah. No, I don't think 3 years are so many for Baba to wait. So I think he can still wait, because in African Union, he will be representing the entire continent. And again, we want him to represent this country, specific 254. I want him to be in the State House. I want him to rule that State House and sit on that reign of the president, because the dream has only be the president of Kenya, because Baba has money. He's not looking for money. He has everything. But
he's looking for power.
Title. Yeah, that title for being the president. That is all what I've been looking for. So he has everything. But again, we, the die supporters of Baba, I don't think whether this African Union, even if he becomes the chairman, we will not feel it. We want to feel it inside
You
the
want to feel him
ventricular vein.
home. You
Yes.
want to feel him home. That is right. Boniface says that he wants to feel Baba home. He doesn't want to see Baba going away to be felt by other people. Ni kama uko na, I don't know what I can say. You want to feel him home. You don't want him to become a continental president, but you want him to become a Kenyan president. Right over there. Simba, can you hear me? Simba, leo umeweka aerial ikiangalia wapi bwana?
He is muted. If Simba, you can try to unmute yourself.
Yeah, let him unmute himself. Jeff, you heard it. He wants Baba home. Na wewe unasema you don't want Baba home.
I want to read the comment of my good friend here, Goodyear.
Go ahead.
Goodyear is saying
Go ahead. Yeah.
that you can't hang on something which won't work. It is like hanging on a girl or a boyfriend who don't love you. You know, if you hang on somebody who doesn't love you, who doesn't actually love you completely, what awaits you is a heartbreak. And we also say that a good dancer knows when to exit the stage. So if you keep remaining on the stage and dancing, what happens? Your dancing moves become boring to the viewers. So Baba is, I can say, through his wisdom, he knows that he has tried his level best. He has danced, he has tried. And you remember, Oburu Odinga told us that what has been denying them presidency is not the votes. He said, we have been having the votes. Baba has a wide support base. What we have not been having is deep state and the system. And he said, and now we are assured because we have the deep state and we have the system. That came from the brother of Raila Odinga. But even with the deep state, the system, and everything that came from the previous government, still Baba did not make it to become the president of Kenya. So Boniface is telling Baba, don't take what you have a very high possibility of getting, go and do patapote again. Go and do guesswork. So that will frustrate Baba more. And it's only wise that Baba goes and try this position, because the probability of getting that position is, I think, according to my thinking, is over 70%, as compared to the probability of defeating William Ruto. Boniface, I want to tell you that Baba had the support. Those people say it was a con from Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was very genuine. He really wanted Baba to become the president. And that's according to my observation. And he had given all that he could give as the president, because he really wanted Baba to become the president. But he failed, Baba failed, or he was not in a position to defeat William Ruto. Now, the big question is, if Baba or Raila Odinga was not in a position to defeat William Ruto, when William Ruto was just a mere deputy president, what is that miracle or the methodology he is going to apply to defeat William Ruto now that he has power? Knowing who is William Ruto. William Ruto is different from any other president we have ever had in Kenya. This is not an easy guy. This is not somebody you can give power and just take it like that without a serious fight. So I don't see any chance. I don't see any chance. We can say there is a probability, but I don't see any chance that Baba will be in a position to bring down William Ruto in 2027 in case he contests. So there is a very high chance that Baba can become the president or the chairperson of AU than becoming the president of Kenya. And I know he has weighed the options, and he has
But,
realized this is the best
but
way of exit.
Jeff, African Union. Most of remote people, they don't, only those who are literate people, they understand what is African Union and how the functioning of African Union goes. So people want to know what is Baba doing. Baba being the president now, those people from deeper sides of Kondele, Kajulu, Nalenda, those people from deep sides of Makueni, Kadonzweni, people from Machakos, people from deep sides of Meru, those who die are die supporters of Baba. You want to hear him speaking as the president during those national celebrations like Mashujaa Day. You want to hear, I, Raila Amollo Odinga, the president of the Republic of Kenya, I hereby. There is that voice. There is that momentum that comes with Baba's voice. No, you want
You
to
want
hear
to
it
hear
from
the voice of Baba saying, I get you.
Higher, higher.
and Baba has a lot of things that he can do to Kenyans. I'm very sure right now, if Baba would be the president of Kenya, now we could be having those 6,000 at end of every month. He promised people that, and Baba is very loyal. Again, he could be giving us
You see,
very good things. Baba
Mr.
Baba
Mr.
is a
Kimanzi,
good leader.
Mr. Kimanzi, I hear you and I understand what you say, because those who love Baba, they love Baba truly from their hearts. Baba has entered their hearts. Some of them perceive him as a small god. He's almost to the level of
Can you
being
repeat
worshipped.
that, the small goal? Again, the small goal.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Some people have loved Baba to the extent of almost bowing down. Uh, so the exit from stage, it will be emotional, especially from the political stage. But loving Baba and wanting to hear his voice uh, does not guarantee him presidency, because he is not competing against himself. He's
The only thing
contesting
that makes Baba not to be the president of
against.
Kenya, and I have that reason, is the team that composes Azimio.
So the fact that you love Baba so much and you love his voice and you are a staunch supporter, I want you to know not everybody who feels the same. So Baba will be contesting against now William Samoei Ruto, ambaye akishikilia anashikilia kama simaku. And it's always good to look for the history of someone. William Ruto has never contested and lost any election in Kenya. Has never. From the member of parliament to all those other people, he has never lost. What makes you think, okay, what we can say, okay, we just want to keep Baba there, to keep listening to him, fighting with the government, but that is not the objective of Raila Odinga. The objective of Raila Odinga is power, and power is sweet. And now he has gotten a chance of getting that power. Today, Africa is becoming together. The nations of Africa are working closely together. They are working towards so many common things, and Baba will be in the center of everything. Any government that want to do anything serious with Africa will have to go through Raila Odinga. If he becomes the chairperson of AU, he'll be earning over 2.3 million plus so many other benefits, more than the president of Kenya. So what are you telling us? That he should continue being tear gas,
Mr. Buru,
running
you
on the
heard me
streets of
saying,
Kenya?
Mr. Jeff, I want you to listen this very keenly. That I said Baba is not looking for money. He's looking for the power. No, getting 2.3, Baba can get it even in one day. But again, be the president of the Republic of Kenya. He has everything. He has those choppers, helicopters. He has everything. But to be the president, that is the only way the Kenyans will be happy that Raila Amollo
You
Odinga
see,
was the president of the Republic of Kenya.
the only problem is that you think the chairmanship of African Union is not a powerful position. This is a position that you set Raila Odinga on a global stage. Not you know now you are narrowing everything to local. Raila Odinga will become an international figure. So there is no
That is true.
comparison.
That is
How will you explain to those people in deep remote areas of Kenya that Raila is the chairman of AU and they understand?
You see, your perception about the African Union, you are narrowing it to your village now, to the village level. That's a
But
high
now,
position representing
yeah, I
Africa
know,
in the world. You know,
I know it's
it's
high
like now
position.
the
Yeah.
president of the European Union. You know, I mean, this is a very high position with so many advantages. Baba has been fighting for power, and not that he has never enjoyed power in Kenya. Remember, he was our prime minister. So when you say he's just looking for power in Kenya, he had power. And now he is going to another level. And also consider his age, the age factor. The age factor dictates that it's the high time Baba gets a less stressful position. It's only that sometimes we deny to talk this kind of things. He has done his part because the government always needs a strong opposition. Because when we don't have a strong opposition, somebody of the caliber of Raila Odinga, impunity is likely to increase on the side of the government. Corruption is likely to increase. So what Raila Odinga can do, and this one I have been talking about, is to nurture somebody for this season, to nurture someone that can be in a position to face the government and to correct the government when they go wrong. But apart from that, I don't see any other reason as to why Raila Odinga should not exit the stage of active politics. That is, if we wish him well and we wish to continue listening to him and his wisdom, we should support him to go and acquire this powerful position. Kenya will be heading Africa. William Ruto on one side heading Kenya, Raila Odinga on the other side. And these people remember, sometimes we forget that politicians are not enemies. If there is somebody who has ever fought for Raila Odinga to acquire power that you are talking about, is William Ruto. So I don't see any reason as to why you think that Baba has anything against William Ruto. Deep in their hearts, they know where they have come from. Deep in their hearts. So it is a win for William Ruto. The differences they have are ideological and political, not enmity. So for me, I think it's a beautiful thing for Kenya, beautiful thing, even for the nation of Kenya, because this is somebody who can really help Kenya out there. We want to see him out there talking. I mean, he is the one who will be welcoming William Ruto in so many platforms outside the nation. That is why Musalia Mudavadi is working for out there for him to acquire that position. I know the president is making so many phone calls, and with his network too, and the network of Uhuru Kenyatta, Baba will definitely become the chairperson of African Union. But I wanted somebody who has stronger opinion about Baba remaining in Kenya, so that we can have a more deeper, because I can go deeper. Right now, I'm just being on the service. I can go deeper and deeper. But I feel like you are not, Mr. Kimanzi, you are not going deeper enough. And Rio.
yes. I get you. Kimanzi also had his concerns and the things that Raila should not have gone, and maybe some of them And if I bring it in this perspective, could it be that this is another handshake between Raila and Ruto, so that Ruto can support his bid in AU? Remember, after the 2017-2018 elections, we saw Raila going after having a handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. We saw Raila being taken to AU as High Commissioner for Infrastructure. Could this be that this is another handshake? Because it is not the first time. We read here in the Standard that I'll read it to you later, that William Ruto, Obasanjo, and Raila met in Mombasa March last year, and that is what brought to an end or made the Azimio to cancel the demonstrations that were going by then. So could it be that it is another form of handshake? Yesterday, after Raila announcing his bid, together with Obasanjo went ahead to meet William Ruto to tell him of the same. Wacha tumkaribishe Angela kwanza. Angela, karibu sana.
Asante, habari ya Mburu?
Salama sana, habari yako Anji?
Mzuri.
Karibu. Tuambie kama unataka baba aende ama abaki Kenya.
Hii ni mchezo mnatuchezea. Ndio mtu kama ndio kina Mburu watupinya ni kama hawatufinyi tena. Ndio kitaeleweka. But sijui kama ataenda ama hataenda, but mawazo yangu hainiambiangi kitu yenye haitawahi fanyika. Hataenda. Tuko tu na yeye hapa Kenya. Hataenda mahali.
Angela, kwa nini hutaki aende? Manake jinsi unavyozungumza inaonekana kwamba hutaki baba aende, unataka baba abaki na sisi ama abaki na wewe hapa Kenya. Kwa nini wewe hutaki baba aende? Baba anaenda kuwa rais wa Afrika, alafu achana na hizi siasa ndogo za Kenya. Huoni kama hiyo ni promotion?
Ni promotion, lakini baba akienda kina Mburu watatufinya sana. Hatutakuwa na sauti, hatutaongea. Unaona? Wataanza kutufinyilia.
Baba akienda kina Mburu watawafinya. Kina Mburu ni kina nani? Huyu Mburu mmoja tu.
Naelewa kabisa.
Wanatindika, wanafanya mzee ya rege na kitendawili, lakini amewatingiza akili, at least kuna kitu inasimama. Wanaanza sasa kutafuta mwelekeo. So if ako, lakini bado wako kichwa ngumu. Na sasa Sembuza akitoka, alafu mimi nauliza hivi, unajua before mtu appointiwe as AU, what are the qualifications za country Kenya anatoka?
No, they don't look at the qualifications of the country. They look at the individual's record. Sio inchi. That is why countries that you people believe are poorly managed, full of corruption and everything, have been able to produce people in that year. We had the Mugabes there. So they look at people's personality. So in this case, they're going to look at who is Raila Odinga. And they will also have to lobby the continental friends. The country, which is Kenya, will also have to campaign for him. Remember, William Ruto is among the members of the assembly who are going to vote for him. So William Ruto is going to vote for Raila. Apart from that, William Ruto will also have to campaign for Raila. Yesterday, Mudavadi is already sent in Addis Ababa. He's already lobbying for Raila's candidature. So what do you have to say?
So, you know, Sakayam lazima amkambeinie juu huyu mzaa niondokee ndio nifanye vitu zangu venye nafanya. Hizi pesa za e-citizen ndio niziweke pale kwa hii kikapu imetoboka, nifanye nini? Nikule venye nakula. Hizi nyumba ndio nijenge, ni kama sijengi tena. Wenye ninabomolea wanalala nje, wanaweka nduru nikisonganga. That is the main aim ya Sakayo campaigning for Baba. Nothing else. Because he know in Kenya there's nobody stronger than Baba who can accuse him for doing wrong things.
Correct. I can hear someone who has Baba.
Sakayo is using to fool us that he loved Baba. Instead, he hate Baba with a passion that let me send this mzee wa reggae. Like kijana si alikuwa anasema,
No,
ule mzee wa
how
kitendawili na
can
reggae. Then you say
somebody who hates you, somebody who hates you, send you to a position that is more powerful than him? That influential position, somebody who hates you. Anyway, we are hold it on there. I can see
but
Reverend
now let me
also. Yes.
Now, when you want to know the tactics of your enemy, you have to bring him near you.
Okay.
Unaona?
Nakupata.
Ujifanye unamfurahisha, ujifanye unampenda, ndio ujue njia zake, ujue vile unaweza kunasa akili yake, ujue venye unaweza pita. You understand? So hizo ni tactics za Zakayo, we understand it and we know it.
Thank you. Shikilia tu hapa mkaka. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining me for the first time, this is Afriq 24-hour TV, and this is our morning show whereby we normally have a newspaper review. We are just trying to look at some of the news that are hitting headline, then we try to weigh on them. Today, we are looking at Baba is heading to AU. So, what is the fate of Azimio? What is the fate of the opposition politics in Kenya? Could this be the end of era? This the political journey of Raila trying to become the Kenyan president for the last 5 elections, which it has never been successful. Could we say that Raila is finally hanging the Kenyan political boots and he's now going to AU so that at least he can reclaim a lost glory and prove to Kenyans that, you see, the systems have been against me? And should he win, what is going to happen to those people who've depended on him to oppose the government of the day? And should he lose, could that one confirm that you've been rejected home and away? Karibu sana, Reverend Seth. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Fine, thank you.
Habari ya watu wote hapo?
Tuko salama
kabisa. Tuko sawa kabisa.
Mburu, unasemaje?
Niko salama kabisa.
Unataka
Mburu anasema Baba aende.
Nimekuona nikasema huyu si mwenye nilikuwa naitisha. Wameleta nguvu mzito sana.
Sasa mambo ni hivi.
Reverend, long time ago.
Yes, I'm doing well. Thank God for everything. Yes. Mburu, Raila can easily win. Raila is an institution both locally and internationally. He can easily win. But people who are pushing for his candidature within Kenya are people who are not friendly to other presidents. One of them is William Ruto. Is the one pushing for Raila candidature at AU. William Ruto is not a friend of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He's not a friend of Mugabe, or not Mugabe, the guy from Rwanda. You say East Africa president.
Kagame, yeah?
Yeah, yes. East Africa presidents, they don't like Ruto. They always see Ruto as a traitor. So from where I sit, anything that Ruto will confront will be rejected by these 3 or 4 presidents of East and Central Africa. So the worst mistake for Raila is Ruto campaigning for him, lobbying for him in Addis Ababa. That's one point. And this president, they know that Ruto did not enter the office in a better way. So what will come in their mind is Ruto mind trying to remove Raila not to participate in 2027 election, to give him an easy way. So from where I sit, Raila will not go there. He will change his mind. Even if he will accept to go, he will not win. And I'm hearing that our good ex-president is also in the race. And our ex-president is as a support of East Africa president. They all support him. They all support him. So Uhuru stand a better chance. That's what William Ruto does not want. That's why he's rushing to lobby for Raila, because he knows people like Sulu Hassan, Kaguta Museveni, all these people, East and Central Africa, they are comfortable with Uhuru Kenyatta, and they will do contrary to discipline William Ruto, whom they see as a traitor. Finally, Ida Odinga gave us Raila Odinga in the previous election. We are not yet through with Raila Odinga. We are still in the quest to Canaan. If Raila can make a mistake of going there, believe me, that people will not be happy with him. He might be comfortable, but people will not be happy with him. It is William Ruto who will be very, very happy, because William Ruto does not need to steal votes against Kalonzo Musyoka. He does not need to steal votes now to win over Kalonzo Musyoka. Why? Immediately Raila vacates the Kenyan politics. Nyanza, Luo Nyanza will not be an ODM stronghold as that. That's a fact. Western will not be an ODM stronghold. Ruto, being an incumbent, will have a road to Luo Nyanza and will have a road to Western. Now, Nyanza and the Western and Rift Valley, I'm telling you, Ruto does not need to steal the election to win against Kalonzo. Now, Ruto amejipanga na kura ya Wasomali. Already kura ya Wasomali imempatia 2 million huko votes. Now, Kalonzo anakuja na nini? Less than 1 million votes from Kamba. So Raila vacating our political space is going to give William Ruto a holiday to do evil to the Republic of Kenya, kwa sababu hakuna mtu ambaye anamsukuma, hakuna mtu ambaye anaweza kumcheck and balance. So Raila is a Kenya business. Raila is not an Africa business. And if we make that kind of, we will be writing letters to him to consider the promise he gave. He cannot leave us in this moment that the presidency is open for him. William Ruto cannot win clean over Raila Odinga. So all pictures naonyesha the next president is Raila Odinga. So if he leaves, he is giving Ruto and Gachagua a holiday, and atungependa mambo kama hayo iendelee. Kwa hivyo Raila is not going, and I said he's not going, and he will not go. There is no holiday for Mburu, hakuna kufinya anji tena. Raila is with us.
But
It's our
Reverend,
business.
let me just ask you this question. You've said that all the pictures that are painted right now shows that Raila is becoming president. If you've been keenly following the Kenyan politics and listening to the politicians, you'll find that specifically those from the Kenya Kwanza, they've been saying and they've been telling their supporters that if you people are planning to change your allegiance and maybe think of voting Raila or think of voting elsewhere, then you are wrong, because they've been telling them that we managed to beat him when he was with Uhuru Kenyatta, who was the president. He was with the DCI and all those kind of things that they normally say. And now we are the ones who are with we are the president. We are the ones with the DCI. We are the ones who are having instruments of power. So do you think Raila, who is not having instruments of power, will manage to beat Ruto, who is now having instruments of power? That is the question that they've been asking and they've been telling Kenyan voters. So I can see somebody is raising the hand. I'll give her 1 minute, then I get back to you.
You just ask me a question and you are running to another person.
I know maybe it is a point of order. I'm not getting question. You know, when somebody is raising the hand, maybe somebody is pressed. You need to listen, then you proceed. It's being courteous. What is it?
If she's Angie, accepted.
Okay, Angie, it has been accepted. What is it?
You know, when Ruto goes around and tell people that we defeated Raila and he had all the machineries in his own hand, he's lying, because Ruto was the deputy president and he was the organizer of everything. When Uhuru went in his second term, what Uhuru did, Uhuru relaxed. And this guy did not sleep even a single minute. So when he said that, niacheni huyu mzee nitamunyorosha asubuhi na mapema, he knew what he has already done. You understand? But right now, Sakayo is fearing. He thought he will make Kenya work, and the Kenya people love him. Called everywhere. So he is worried. When if this Mzee stand, if it is today's election, I'm telling you, even you, Leo, when you stand and Sakayo, you will have to defeat Sakayo. Na hizi ushuru zake mingi, kelele zake mingi, zenye hazina mwelekeo na zenye hazina njia. Hiyo ndio amehofia. Vitu zenye anafanya ziko against. Kama hata AG anamkana, anasema mimi rais anafanya vitu bila kuniambia, hazipiti ofisini mwangu.
Do you know, Allah, you know, there is always a problem when we are transitioning from one government to another. So at times it may be a problem, but again, we can see that the Huda party leader now, the William Samoei Ruto, he has already undergone some hard times when changing that reign. Because when you see the government of Kenya, it's not easy to be the president of Kenya. You know, he thought it's very easy, but again, he is complaining that from transition of the government of Uhuru Kenyatta to William Samoei Ruto is hard. And again, he was there as the deputy president. So again, I don't think President William Ruto fears the Azimio leader who is Raila Odinga. But again, is he able to be the president of Kenya? Now he's the president. People are complaining from every part of the country. They are complaining that president has failed. Now, if we want to vote for Raila Odinga to be the chairman of AU, then who will be the contestant of the Azimio leader coalition? Because we want someone who is able to defeat, because we want to change this country. We want to get what Kenyans have been yearning for. So I don't think whether Raila can go for AU. I want him to be back. Those are my own views, because I've been loyal to Baba for a long time. I want him
And
to
I asked you a question that is Reverend, you are not answering.
But again, to change
Speaker, you told me the guy was
because the country
point of order.
considering
I didn't
now,
see
we
us
are
having a point of order.
Who is speaking?
And
Who
you
is
just
speaking? Who is speaking?
And
Reverend, it is you. Okay, continue.
Yes. Speaker, I'm sorry that you said Angie was on point of order, and indeed she contributed. Not a point of order.
Sorry for
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. There's a question you asked me that if we defeated Baba, yeah, can he defeat us? I think can he defeat us now? Okay, Baba has not been defeated. Baba was defeated when he first contested the election and he became number 3. When Kibaki came, he declared Kibaki Tosha, Raila won. After that, he won against Kibaki. They entered into coalition government. In the Uhuru case, you saw what Mutunga did, how he delivered his judgment.
Yes.
Now, when we come to the other election, you saw how 2 judges winning over, I will say 4, because it was 2 plus the chairman.
Yeah.
It does not make 3 against 4. So in a democracy, majority rules. So that's a clear indication that Baba was stolen. Baba won the election with a big margin in previous elections. Now, my greatest concern, if you want to know that Raila is very strong, ask yourself this question. Why is Ruto lobbying for Raila Odinga? Why? Because he wants a free holiday. He knows that Raila is an enigma. Raila is a tough leader. Raila is someone who can remove him from presidency. So I heard Raila's speech. Raila only said, if Africa need me, then I will be available. If. And again he said, he's been consulting. That means Raila has an answer to all this, but he's reading the psychology of William Ruto. And right now we have seen how Kenya Kwanza are celebrating.
I get you.
That's the stupid thing they are doing. They are celebrating. Raila knows that these people, they are pushing this for their own agenda. Now Raila has people in his heart. Aya, nimemalizia hapo.
I get you. Simba Neta, Simba really tried to join today. I don't know what is wrong. Simba, can you hear me? Simba? Jeff, I'll get it back to you as Simba is preparing it.
Simba amefukuzwa na zungura.
Ndio huyo. Simba.
Asante sana Mr. Nyabaya.
Umeenda tena?
Yes.
Oh, I think Simba is really having. Somebody is telling you, Reverend, don't mention Sava. I don't know why. Somebody is talking of you mentioning Sava, and maybe I just want to share this. Angela, I've said that people will vote out Ruto simply because he made life so unbearable. If you look at the standard today, they talk of some. There's some relief. The people have been complaining about Maradola. It's there. Look at that. They're told that rallying shilling raises hope for an end to economic crisis. You'll find that the last 2 days, local currency has gained almost shillings 30 to to the dollar in 2 days. Importers will now foot their bills without passing extra cost to consumers. I remember this one happened after Kenya took that I think it is $2 billion that is going to be used in paying a Eurobond in June. So immediately this money was approved and the money was given to Kenya. The Kenyan shilling started gaining for the last 2 days. Actually, there's a point it reached 138, only for it to shoot again. So is this one not some sign of good things that are going to happen? And if you followed yesterday's meetings, this is what the deputy president had to say.
Na mimi unajua, kwa sababu ni mtu ya kuongea ukweli, niliambia Wakenya mambo ya ukweli. Nikamwambia hawa, mimi nikikaa pale na rais, nikiona vile anapanga uchumi, wale walikuwa wameficha madola nyumbani, nikaambia endeni mtoe dola zenu muuze. Hawakunisikia, wakasema wakae na madola kwa nyumba. Rais amepanga kazi, dola imeteremuka. Sasa wale wako na dola wanakimbia kwa benki kuuza haraka. Waleo imeteremuka mpaka 137. Mimi nataka niambie Wakenya saa hii nikiwa hapa Kandara, kwa sababu mimi napenda nyinyi, wacha nimuibie siri. Huyu rais vile amepanga, hii dola muuze leo na kesho na kesho kutwa. Msipouza mtaenda hasara kubwa. Hii dola mimi naona rais anapanga itafika 100. Kwa hivyo tunaambia Wakenya wale wako na dollars, jana wamejaa kwa benki, leo asubuhi wako huko. Wale ambao wamebakisha dollars, mkimbie haraka, msiende hasara.
I don't want to comment on that. I would have commented otherwise. Reverend, things are getting better. Ama ni propaganda tu?
Mimi hizo ni propaganda. But you know, here in Brazil, propaganda is a good news. In Portuguese, propaganda is a good news. But in our English, propaganda is just kuongea hivyo. Mimi ni mchungaji. Mimi si mtu wa mtu ambaye anaelewa mambo ya economy hivyo. But hata dola imefika 137 alafu ikashoot tena, yani graph imeshoot tena, hiyo unasoma nini? What are we learning from there? Another thing, hii pesa ambayo unasema walichukua sehemu si US wakaweka hapo kulipa Eurobond, what is the source of that money? Was it a loan given to us?
It was a loan that was given to us. We are given a loan to use in paying a loan. You get it?
So when we are talking a sign of a good thing, unamaanisha nini? Si kweli, manake tumechukua loan tena kwa mambo ya Eurobond again, alafu dola inaanguka, alafu ina shoot tena.
That is the words of the deputy president. He told us that things are going to be better now.
Are you connecting the issue of Raila, AU and mambo ya dollar? Why are they coming at the same time? Is someone playing politics with our mind? Again,
that is what I wanted to know.
Again, budget iko hapa karibu ni mwezi wa sita hapa to budget hizi. To me, these are gimmicks, these are ploy. There's nothing like dollar reaching 130 something and then shooting up. They are just playing game for some people to release their money. It's a psychological thing, because actually kuna watu ambao wana hold money because of what is going on in Kenya today. They're holding on to dollar because of they don't want to put their money because they are not certain if their business will perform. So the government just use psychology, wadanganya watu wakimbie bank vile Rigiji amesema, their money to be in circulation. Peradventure it can help Kenya in some issues, but to me, those are, I think they are just a ploy, a gimmicks, because you cannot get a loan to sort a loan and then you expect to grow the economy.
I get you.
Yep.
Simba, wacha nikupatie nafasi sasa. Ikikataa itabidi umengojea.
Yes. Mr. Nyabaya, sasa nafikiria unaweza nipata vizuri.
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you loud and clear. Endelea.
I can hear you loud and clear. Endelea.
Thank you. Sasa naona mjadala uko hapa ni Raila kuwa chairman wa AU. Labda kama atasimama ni maoni yake. I hope yeye ametoa msimamo wake na he qualifies. He needs no one's endorsement kwa sababu it will be about the delegates, how they will vote. But the wider criteria, it's just only a matter of time. It will be just endorsement. Haitakuwa atapata ama hatapata. I think after Musa Faki, let Kenyans be ready. Kuwa next chairman wa AU atakuwa Raila Amollo Odinga. Now, nimesikia critics wengi wameongea mambo mengi, wengine they are for, the rest are against, wengine wameleta in local politics. AU is an international arena, and I think the kinyume na vile ilivyo mahali ambapo Raila amekuwa akicontest previously, but majority ya wale voters wenye walikuwa wana vote against Raila Odinga's win, they were insincere in their mind. They were insincere because hatuwezi kuwa kwamba in African leaders wote wanaweza angalia waone this will be the right person ambaye anakataliwa kwao and they need him. EU iko na majukumu mengi kufanya ndani ya Afrika, na hiyo itakuwa ni surprise ama ni kinyume na ideology yenye imekuwa planted against the minds of Kenyans. But mimi I'm making my own political observation kwamba it will work against his detractors. For one, what is it going to do in our local politics? It will be rebellion. Why? One, William Ruto, having served in ODM, he has ODM ideology, and through this, the gap yenye William Ruto atakuwa amecreate in the Nyanza and Western Kenya, it will come back. We will have people fronting for 2027, not only who will win presidency, but who will deputize William Ruto. This one, take it or leave it.
Okay.
And now, since Nyanza and the Western watakuwa na shares, and now there will be shares, it's one of their own for regional balance. It will not be Gachagua. That's why you see Ndindi Nyoro has now told the line, because there's a political vacuum. Now, that is the way rebellion itaanza, and expect 2027 kuwa even more contentious than before, because it will not be every election nearing time, it will be two tribes. Now we want our own for us to balance the region. Now, people of the mountain with Raila's gap, because they had been voting against him for no reason, watajipanga vizuri, ingawa hayo mambo yote hayawezi kuwa sawa.
In other words,
the Raila factor will not be there because
the Raila factor will not be there because the elections have always been defined.
Exactly. The Raila factor in 2027 will never be there. Will never be there. It will never be there as one of the factors. Now, it will only be between the two normal tribes and now the rest of the country. Though it might sound kwamba see a good language for some, but a reality. Nitakwamia hapo nikiendelea kuwafuatilia kutoka kwa background. Nitayafuata kwa wakati mwingine, but rebellion coming soon.
Rebellion coming soon. Those are the words of Simba Neta. Simba Neta is telling us that, you see, now that Raila is exiting the scene, Raila will not be part of the next. That is, shall he go ahead and vie and win the AU seat, it means by 2027 he will not be among the candidates. And looking at the history of Kenyan politics, actually it has been for the last 4 or 5 elections defined by Raila Amollo Odinga, whereby you either support Raila or oppose Raila. And elections have always been based on where you stand with Raila. If you come from places where Raila is people believe in, like the western parts of Kenya, Nyanza, and some coastal part, you have to support Raila to be elected, and you have to belong to ODM. Then you automatically know after the nomination you are going to be elected, save for few. And if you come to places like Central where people oppose Raila, you have to oppose Raila for you to be elected. And if you stand with Raila, like Kanini Kege and Sabina Chege has tried, you are doomed. So 2027, we are going to have an election without Raila factor. And Simba is seeing some rebellion. Most people will not be able to make it in parliament. And maybe the election is going to be about ideas, what you can offer. Maybe these things called the party patronage and holding people's hands and spreading propaganda will not be there in Kenyan politics. Sijui, Jeff, from your end, what do you have to say?
Kindly allow me to respond to Simba before.
Okay, let me allow you a response before Jeff, you proceed. Response is allowed.
Simba is sure, according to his statement, is sure that Raila is heading to AU. Mimi nilisikia hotuba ya Raila. In fact, Olusegun was somehow sent to convince him. Kwa nini nasema hivyo? Raila alisema he has been consulting. Na akasema if Africa need me. That means he's not interested. But if Africa need me, then I'm equal the task. Simba should know that Raila is not in this politics of AU alone. I've got information that Uhuru Kenyatta is also being confronted for the seat. And the information I'm getting is that East and Central presidents are for Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
I get you.
Yes, but because Ruto is confronting Raila, that is the undoing, that is the mistake that is going to cost Raila the position of AU. Because all this East and Central Africa, they don't like Ruto. They are seeing Ruto as a traitor. While Mwana Kenyatta is being recognized because of the work he's doing in the Republic of Congo. So Ruto is the one pushing this to remove Raila from political equation from 2027. But Simba should know Raila always listen to people. Raila has got advisors. Raila is not such a person who will wake up in the morning and do things by his own. I am a proud Luo. If you see Raila doing something, hiyo tayari alishakaa chini na professionals, alikaa chini na wazee, wakaangalia pro and cons, wakaangalia the benefit ya hiyo kitu ambayo hata ya choices yake. Kwa hivyo if you go to AU, sisi wa Kenya tuta benefit na nini? And what is the political situation of Kenya? And what about Raila aspiration? Because this man wanted to help this nation. When he go to AU, how will he help this nation, Kenya? How? And I know Raila is not a person about akaa sehemu na aoni kitu baya inafanyika na ziseme. Na kama ataenda, then Ruto need to worry again. Because now this guy is the boss of AU. When he misbehave with the elections, then the AU boss can marshal other presidents to push the pressures on William Ruto not to steal the election. Or not to, because Ruto vile unamwona ni mtu bata akishindwa hata wacha uongozi. Hawezi akaacha uongozi. That guy, hata akishindwa, I'm sure, I'm certain. And that's why you see him trying to bring some changes in the judiciary. What Ruto is doing a kind of mafia kind of politics. You know, mafia akikutumia ku achieve goal, the next day atakutoa, bring in another person. Kwa sababu mafia believe he cannot use someone twice in one thing. And that's why you see Ruto game now is to remove Martha Koome and those judges. You want to bring friendly, this kind of mafia kind of politics. People who
want to bring a friendly judiciary.
Friendly judges. Yes. So that even if the election is contested, then automatically those people will support him. Now ujue right now was the Somalians wameingia Nairobi sana na wanaendelea kupata ma-ID. As I am talking to you, because of Raila Odinga, Ruto ameingiza karibu 2 million Somali voters ifia Raila. Kwa hivyo Ruto lobbying for Raila is for his political survival. I agree with Simba that exiting of Raila now from Kenyan politics can bring certain balance in Kenya politics, because maybe people from Luo now, from Nyanza, will want to deputize him. Western might be comfortable because already Mudavadi Weta, they are all there. And once you bring a deputy from Nyanza, that means Kalonzo Musyoka will not have voted Nyanza, will not have voted Western. So that will be the end of Azimio. That's why I'm saying Raila cannot leave. If he leave, then I will call him a traitor. We need him now than Africa need him. I need him now than Olusegun Obasanjo. Obasanjo amekuwa president, is comfortable guy. He cannot come and lie to Raila after being bribed, knowing very well that Raila akienda hatachaguliwa. I'm telling you, even if Raila akienda, he will not win. Why? Because while they want to push, William Ruto is unpopular with the rest of the presidents.
I get you.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to tell Simba. Thank you.
Simba, I think that is quite informative, and you get the information. Jeff, I was going to you. Then I'll give Boniface.
You know, Mr. Rio, you have kept me pending until I felt like going to sleep.
I've now reached you. Don't
sweat. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Leo, for the opportunity. I want first of all to respond to some sentiments from Reverend. Reverend has talked about the people who are lobbying for Raila Odinga to become the chairperson of AU.
Yeah.
And Reverend and other people who might be having the same sentiments, I would like to remind you that the people who are lobbying for him to become the chairperson are people who at some point in time supported him wholeheartedly. And I want to repeat here, there is nobody in Kenya who has ever supported Raila Odinga to become the president like William Ruto. And I know each one of you can attest to that. And then I don't know the proof that Reverend can give to show that William Ruto is not liked outside Kenya. I don't know why you say that other president perceive him as a traitor, because I would like you to clarify why you feel so. As far as I'm concerned, I see William Ruto as somebody who is liked out there. He has held the flag of Africa higher than any other president. You saw how he shared the African Union meeting and also the United Nations meeting when he was chairing, and also you saw how he was celebrated when he gave his speech on the Vienna Convention on climate change. You saw that he was in a position to bring almost all the nations of the world together in the summit in Kenya. So when you say he is hated, then that is subject to discussion. And for me, I would say this. William Ruto is not hated by anyone. But when you are ambitious and when you are shining, you have people who will envy you. You have people who will be jealous of you, which is normal, So I see William Ruto as a very ambitious president who is a blessing to the nation of Kenya. So I don't know why Reverend is saying that he is hated. I don't think so. And the other thing, you have said that Kenya right now is orange everywhere, which is not true. We haven't changed camp. Many of us, I haven't changed camp. I know so many people who are still supporting William Ruto. The base that voted for William Ruto is still intact. You know, I know many people would have wished that people shift from William Ruto maybe to Raila's camp. Those are just wishes. And we say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride them. The only better position that Raila Odinga can be assured of is the position of the chairmanship of AU. That is the best position that he can get so far. You have said that Raila Odinga has never lost election in Kenya for all the days he has contested. That's a statement which cannot substantiated, because we don't determine who has won by how we feel or by the camp that makes a lot of noise.
Fungua saba.
We determine, let me finish my statement. We determine who has won through the ballots that have been casted and counted. And you saw, like, for instance, the general election that we just had in 2022. We saw that there was the ballots, the physical ballots that were counted one by one. We also had the virtual system that was showing how the tallying is going on. And also we had the international community. We had delegates from across the world observing how the general election was being conducted. And it was also done in the glare of cameras. The media stations were there. They were not denied access to see everything that was happening. Apart from that, the chairperson, who is mandated constitutionally to tell us who is the president of Kenya, according to the votes casted and counted, announced William Ruto as the president of Kenya. That is how we determine who has won. And if there is any dispute, that dispute is taken to the other system, to the court of law. William Ruto was not only announced as the winner, he was vindicated by the judges that actually the election was free and fair in Kenya. So I am yet to be convinced that Raila Odinga has won. The only area in which I can say he has won, Raila Odinga has won in sabotage of government agendas. He has won in violence in Kenya. Many times we have witnessed violence and chaos and hooliganism. The supporter of that has been one, Raila Odinga, without Raila Odinga in the political arena in Kenya, people of Kenya will experience peace, great peace that I am even guessing the reason why the dollar has gone down today is because of his announcement that he is likely to contest as the AU chairperson. Because people feel like, oh, our businesses are going to be saved. Even investors, I'm telling you,
Wah,
possibility.
achia tu hapo.
Investors to come to
Jama,
Kenya
you ask
because
me a
of the
question.
fees.
Ukiongea hivyo sisi
You
Please,
wenyewe
ask
can you
me
be
a
hatutakusupport.
quiet?
question.
You
You
guys,
end up making statement.
can you have some patience? Because when you are talking, I don't talk.
Did you
But when I
ask me
talk,
a question?
you get
Did you ask
fired.
me a question?
Now,
Did you ask
okay,
me a
just
question?
wait a minute. You get all the time. Leo will give you the time.
No, he's claiming you asked a question. Did you ask a question? Then
Who
if
is
you
that?
ask a question, you need
He
to be
asked
given
me.
an answer.
Not the question you're going to answer. That's why I kept quiet. I listened to all of you for almost 1 hour. I am very
No,
patient.
you ask me.
I'll be so
You ask,
patient to listen to you.
Mr.
Now,
Speaker.
you know what you are doing?
You
You
ask
people,
me.
Let me
You
you're
get
ask
trying
me
to
a
this
question.
distract.
clarification.
You ask me a question. Every
Let me clarify this. No questions need to be answered. So if you're giving a statement, you give a statement. But if you ask a question, you give the person time to respond to the question.
So I haven't. I am here to ask a question. It
Okay.
was you see. Don't answer now.
Okay.
Because what you
Proceed.
people are
Then
doing
you also pass
are
it to
trying to
Boniface.
interfere with my line of thought. You know, and
All right,
everybody is
proceed and
entitled
wind up.
to
They'll
opinion.
respond. I can see Boniface is
So
also ready there.
nikiwakanyaga kidogo, muvumilie. I know how it's gonna be. I know many of you are yet to hear from the last general election, and the exit of Baba from politics, it means another pain. Yani ni kama kuongezewa kidoda. So nitawaenda pole pole, sitawakanyaga sana. But this is what I'm saying. Kenya, without Raila Odinga in the political arena, automatically will experience great peace. Because the kind of politics that Baba plays, especially when he fails to clinch to power, it has been affecting the nation of Kenya to a greater extent. Mimi nasema hivi, Baba, when I observe his kind of politics and what he has been doing in politics has done more harm, especially to the economy, than good. The nation can only grow in the environment.
You are just repeating yourself, my brother.
Yeah, it's okay. Allow me to repeat myself. Everett. The nation can only thrive in the environment of peace. The businesses can only do well in the environment of peace. The outsiders can only have confidence to invest in our country in the environment of peace. So when Baba goes out there, I know he will still be a good ambassador. There is a high possibility that Kenya will do well politically and also economically, because all other leaders that I see in Kenya are peaceful people, but I don't know Baba, and that's why for me, that's why I have never supported his line of politics, because he agitates for great violence. His lane is the lane of terror.
No. But Mr.
Yeah. Now let me
Jioburu, I will
finish.
not buy that.
Please
I
give
will
us
not
time
buy
Let
to
me
that,
talk
finish
Mr.
now.
there so that you
Please
can say what you
give
feel.
us time to talk. This guy have taken 20 minutes now. 20 minutes. I'll keep on repeating.
Now,
Okay.
Okay. Mr.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm interjecting.
Okay. Go ahead.
Why? Because he lied. He lied when he said that
Yeah.
Hello.
We
Hello.
hear you.
I can hear you. I
Mr.
can,
Leo, I
Okay.
don't know what you're doing on your side.
I can hear you.
Okay. He lied by saying that I said that Kenya is yellow, and I never said like that people have shifted the camp. That's a big lie that he
What did you say when you said Kenya is red? Maybe I didn't hear what you meant.
no, you did. I never said red. I never said yellow. That I don't
Okay.
know where I don't know. Maybe because Ruto is a liar, so you are following that
Now
trend.
you have resulted into insult, Reverend. Go to the point.
No,
I am yet to know what you
no,
are talking about.
no. You know the other people ambao walikula kiapo,
Mm.
walikula kiapo wakambiwa, when you see wrong, call it bad.
Yes.
Walikula kiapo, and that is in the public domain. One of the leaders from Central said that waliapishwa kiapo to reject Odinga's family, and I believe the DNA of the speaker are the people who are intoxicated through that kiapo. Amesema jambo mingi, amesema exit of Raila will bring peace in Kenya. Will bring peace in Kenya. Raila has never been a violent man, but the state have been violent against Raila. Alifungwa mwaka 9. Kwa sababu gani? Kwa sababu ya mistake ya Njonjo. You know all these things. Mistake ya greediness ya Njonjo. Ilibidi akule jela miaka 9. So kusema ya kwamba ati Raila ni mtu ambayo analetanga fujo, you know, you've been brainwashed, my brother. Raila is a man of peace. Now Ruto, whom you are championing, you are supporting 2007. Alimwambia Raila, please don't give, let us fight for this. Watu wawane upate kiti chako. In fact, when Raila was willing to respond to Anan, in fact, Ruto was not for that. Ruto was not for that. So you are coming here telling me that Raila ni mtu ambaye anapenda fujo. Angalia Raila when he was the PM. Do you know the people who have benefited from Raila leadership are people from Central? When Raila was forming his government, hukumwona kama ameweka Wajaluo wote. It was decentralized in all communities. So Raila, let me tell you, Raila is a symbol of unity, while Ruto is a symbol of disunity. Ndio maana unaona kabineti yake amechukua watu wengine, ukama umpingi anakumaliza, na kuna watu wengi ambao wamemalizwa na Ruto. You can ask Jirongo since YK92. Maybe haya watu wewe ulikuwa hujazaliwa, maybe wewe ni mtu wa Nyayo tu, juzi wa late 90s, but William Ruto amefanya maajabu kwa hii Kenya. Now, exiting of Raila will not make Kenya better, I'm telling you. Na ukasema ya kwamba dola imeshuka kwa sababu ya Raila quest for AU. And I want to tell you, Raila has not yet decided. He has not. He only said, if Africa, the word if Africa want me. And I reminded the people that Raila is an institution, si kama Ruto ambaye anaamua vitu kivyake. Raila kuna watu nyuma yake, think tanks, ambao wanamuadvise on what to do. For Dikemaliza, I just want you to put hate aside, and for the mercies of God, talk good things about Raila amefanya kwa hii nation. Ruto mwenyewe hata was against this constitution ambayo saizi anaenjoy. He voted no for it. And you are talking about Ruto winning. Sasa wewe kati ya 3, kati ya 4 na 2 in a democracy, nini, which one is a big number? To you it is 2. Si ndio? Kati ya 4 judges against 2. Wacha vote ya chairman kando. That will tell you that the election was not fair. Secondly, ukasema ya kwamba eti constitution inapeana chairman ku-announced. But hii constitution inapeana nguvu after consulting other people with him in the panel. But what this guy did, Uchebochieta, what he did was against the constitution. Now our 7 bench also compromised. Probably Lenaola alireceive, manake saa hizi ndio vitu vinatokezea ya kwamba Lenaola alireceive pesa. So it really pained me when you can't talk good, even a good thing about Raila. But I don't blame you. It is where you come from. May God forgive you for that. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
Reverend, what do you mean? Karibu
Now,
sana Zipora, namuona pale Goodia. Keep it here. Wale wako kwa comment section, you can also be able to send your feeling and maybe your concerns through the comment section. Najua wengi wangependa sana kuingia kwenye studio na pengine mtu wako kazini ama ameshikamana, tuko na comment section. Unarusha comment pale alafu sisi tutaona. Yes, Jeff,
now,
you wanted to say something?
This ambassador of peace, I have been seeing his supporters going for his rallies, carrying sticks, stones, and things that can harm. And I have never heard this ambassador of peace telling them a peaceful demonstration does not entail carrying of stones and sticks and fighting with police. He crashed this good person, the ambassador of peace. He crashed violently with the government of Moi. Then we voted for Moi Kibaki. He crashed with him violently. And not just crashing, these are human beings losing lives. He crashed violently with the government of Uhuru Kenyatta. He crashed violently with the government of one William Ruto.
I'm sorry that I will leave because I can't stomach all these kind of lies.
You see, Reverend,
I can't continue with the debate.
You see, Reverend, when you are talking, I listen.
No, it is because I don't accept. Speak the truth.
There is no
lies.
You see, we are here to educate each other. When we talk of democracy and we talk of demonstration being enshrined in the Constitution, there is nowhere.
So it was
there is nowhere
people to ban the church.
There is nowhere Constitution. The Constitution talks of violent demonstration.
Who told the people to ban? Was it true who told the people to ban the church in Kiamba? Please just speak the truth.
Wait. You see, you have your line of thought. I have my line of thought.
No, Jeff, there is a question. Let me help the two of you. There is a question. Because in your claim, you are claiming that
it is
Raila, listen.
Leo,
I'm the one.
You cannot talk on my behalf. If it's my turn to talk,
now
you protect me to talk and finish my statement.
I'll protect you to talk.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I'll protect you, but I just want to so that we can use some words that are not going to be considered to be lies or hate or something like that. I just want to paraphrase. From the information you are giving the panel is that the leader should be responsible for the action of their followers. For example, the leader in question, Raila Odinga, should be responsible for the action of the followers who go on demonstration with stones and sticks and everything. And the other panel is also telling you if that is so, then is posing a question. We saw some people demonstrating in 207, and these people were allied to a specific leader, the current president, and the church was banned, actually. So he's asking you, does it also imply that he's the one who sent people to go and ban that church? The same way Raila is sending people to go and demonstrate with stones. So maybe
you can level the ground. In the line of my submission, There is nowhere I was discussing that matter. So telling me to divert from what I was saying to discuss what you want me to discuss.
You are discussing demonstrations and is also
the other thing, if that is the question you want me to answer, this is how I will answer that question. By the time the church was being banned, William Ruto had already gotten his position as the member of parliament. So he was not contesting to become anything. He was already, by then, William Ruto was contesting to become the member of parliament. He had already been announced as the member of parliament. So who was the candidate? The people who were banning the church were supporting who? Is it William Ruto or Raila Odinga? If anything, the person who
that thing ilianza pole even before the election, my brother.
Reverend,
don't lie for the people.
I know it becomes
that
so
thing
hard.
ilianza pole. I couldn't burst once. It be started earlier before the elections.
Reverend, let me finish. You ask a question. Let me give you the answer. So William Ruto was not contesting to become anything. If anything, he had already gotten his position. The position that was in question was the position of the presidency. And the person who was the candidate in that party was one Raila Odinga. The person who called for mass action
started simultaneously, my brother.
The person who called, and the videos are there, the person who called for mass action without explaining to Kenyans what did you mean, what does the mass action entail, it was one Raila Odinga. And in one of the clips that was actually played in the ICC, William Ruto was
do you remember the short guy of Kass FM? Do you remember the short guy of Kass FM?
Because you took these things to the other level. Let me finish. William Ruto was seen telling Raila Odinga to tell people it is peaceful demonstration, which he never accepted to say. So you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If there are people who fought, if there are people who did all those things that happened, they were doing it on behalf of Raila Odinga, not William Ruto. William Ruto was not a candidate. If there are people who fought on the other side, they did it on behalf of Moi Kibaki.
You're just spewing lies.
Which lies?
Lies.
Reverend, which lies? You are
Mr. Muru, don't be a political extremist.
We will not allow you to lie.
You are a tribal extremist.
Now you are talking all of you.
Tribal. You are
the listeners are not hearing.
We will not allow you to lie. You've been sent here with a small money. If you want money, tell me. But you cannot speak.
By the way, here we are not talking about tribe. If anything, William Ruto is not does not come from my tribe. Here we are looking for facts.
Look, why hate Luos? Why but
you are talking about Raila Odinga's political and tribal background. You are not talking what is in the national stage at the moment that people should discuss.
You see.
Thank you.
You people. Yes, Ara.
Mi nakuuliza hivi. Wewe unasema Raila Odinga ndio huwa analeta vita Kenya, ambapo akienda hatutakuwa na vita, kutakuwa na utulivu. Swali langu ni wanapoandamana pasipokuwa na polisi kurusha tear gas kufukuza watu.
Sasa Ara, kazi ya polisi ni kuweka amani na mahali popote penye maandamano. Sasa venye
ni kurusha amani, ni kuweka amani.
Sasa wacha nikuelimishe.
We have seen people in South Africa
killed
on street. Peacefully without tear gassing them.
Sasa ubaya wenu nyinyi watu wa Azimio.
Mburu, there is no issue of us. We are Kenyans. We are Kenyans. Raila Odinga is a Kenyan. You are a Kenyan. Don't be tribal and a political extremist of William Ruto.
Moderator amepotea. Sijui moderator simu yake imekuaje. Sasa I don't know who is going to moderate.
He cannot stomach you. That's why people are running away from debate. Because
I know people feel it so hard to stomach the truth. But the truth is,
that's not the truth. That's a lie from the bottom.
If I am asked to produce the
that's a lie. The devil is a father of all lies.
Mburu, wacha nikuulize swali na tafadhali uniruhusu nikuulize swali. Hii propaganda yenye unaeleza about a dollar and Raila Odinga becoming a chairman of AU. Do you want to tell me what kind of truth uko nayo? What is that you are telling Kenyans? In fact, hiyo hata anyway, ni vile sisi huwa tunakuanga na heshima. We don't want to use what you are using. In fact, hiyo ni propaganda. You are spreading rumor and the propaganda, which is not. No, ungenisikiza kwanza.
Uko wapi? Nimeona kama umedrop.
Uko wapi? Nimeona kama umedrop.
Simba.
Can you please tell people something about it? Waielewe, how is it related with the dollar?
Ebu uliza hiyo swali tena. Oh, I see you. I thought nini imedrop. Add on stage. Yeah. Okay. I said this, and I believe you understand English. I said maybe this is the reason why the dollar has shrunk today after Raila Odinga announced that he is a candidate of the AU. That is to say, and this is what I meant. Na nyinyi watu muache kuweka siasa kwa moyo ili watu waweze kuongea. People discuss and discuss.
You can't lie.
Reverend,
the devil is the father of lies.
But you see, you cannot dictate.
Just have balanced kind of politics.
I will try.
Thank you.
Simkubali tu nimalize venye anasema. Na nielezee bwana Simba swali lake. Simba ameuliza hii mambo ya dola na Raila Odinga inaingilia na wapi? When the environment of peace is perceived, people become confident. So they stop withholding their money. They release the money to the market. But when people perceive that there is danger to their businesses, that violence can erupt anytime, investors withhold their money. People withhold their money. They don't release it to the market. So by the fact that
this billion of dollars which came from America was given because Raila declared
I was just
don't lie to people again.
But I said this. Reverend, najua wewe unaelewa Kiingereza. Najua kabisa unaelewa. I said not with certainty. I said maybe, and that makes the difference. I said maybe.
You are smartly changing your statement. Smartly changing your statement. Continue.
So anyway, Reverend, maybe kuna kitu kwa sababu Bwana Rio nadhani nini yake ime hang ama I don't know, maybe stima. Maybe there is something.
No, you have scared people away because people are here.
No, you see,
how Kenya can develop, but the kind of policy you are bringing in, you are taking us back to 90s and 80s.
No, the truth. You know the truth.
Yes,
I know
that's the old mindset you have.
You see,
Angie will tell you that. Angie will tell you that.
You are entitled to your opinion, and wakati mnaita Ruto Zakayo sisi hatushidani, wakati mnamuita mwizi hatushidani, wakati mlimuita tagataga hakuna mtu analeta. Raila Amollo akiguzwa kidogo, ukisikia jina Raila imeguzwa ina negative way kidogo, mnaruka. Hata hakuna kitu, yote mnaruka. Hakuna debate inaweza endelea.
Nani alisema in the Bible? Nani alisema Zakayo ni baya?
Nataka kukuuliza hivi.
Haya.
Nataka kuuliza hivi. Ulisema ati William Ruto anapendwa sana na nchi zingine za kimataifa.
Sana vibaya sana kwanza.
Najua umesema hivyo juu anajipendekeza na zile trip za Japani, UK kwenda kujipendekeza kutoa speech. Una understand? Zile speech anatoa huko angekuwa ndio anafanya Kenya, tungekuwa tumesonga. Na nikuulize since aanze trips zake saini 50 trips zenye amezunguka. How many investors umewaona wakikuja Kenya kuinvest? How many?
Sasa nataka nikuambie ni wakati
ya Kenya amekuja kufanya kazi Kenya. Instead they are moving out of Kenya.
Ati? I didn't hear the last statement.
Nimekuuliza umesema William Ruto.
Nimesikia hapo kwa how many nimesikia. There is the last part of your statement I didn't hear what you said.
Hiyo umesikia.
Nimekuuliza how many investors umeona wamekuja Kenya?
Kitu cha kwanza sijakuwa nikiwahesabu. Kwa hivyo ukiniuliza ni wangapi? Sijakuwa nikiwahesabu. But what I know, no, I'm not joking. Ukweli ni kwamba sijakuwa nikihesabu.
No, akatuambia ameenda Tanzania, tunapata gas kutoka Tanzania. Right now with that lady Samia Suluhu hawaelewani.
Sasa hivi
hana maelewano.
Sasa
hawaelewani.
Na nimeuliza
sitaki kukupeleka mbali na kuleta karibu.
Rwanda hawaelewani. Kongo
hawaelewani. Then you want that William Ruto.
You see, the only problem I'm having with that sentiment is that you are not able to explain hawaelewani namna gani. What has Ruto done?
We are reading these things on papers, my brother. We are reading these things on papers, reactions.
If you're not just reading, sio kila mtu amesoma ile gazeti.
The other time President Rwanda alimwambia nini? Alimwambia nini? Not to bring his advice here. Let him go and solve his own problem, his own country. Alimwambia Ruto hivyo.
Sasa ndivyo nakuambia Reverend. Unasema hawaelewani. Wewe kama mtu ambaye anaishi Kenya, Ruto ni nini amefanyia Samia Suluhu? Ni makosa gani amefanya? Ni dhambi gani amefanya ili mseme he is a traitor? What has he done? That is what
Suluhu akasema sikia
nini Rwanda ni rais wa Kenya.
Mburu, do you know
statement Samia Suluhu
companies kutoka Kenya zinaingia Tanzania because of William Ruto?
Ngoja sasa tunasikia haya. Angie ongea tusikie na utuelezee Ruto amefanyia nini Rwanda, amefanyia makosa gani Tanzania na Uganda, hizo nchi zote.
Wacha nikwambie Mburu, naweza kosa kukupenda sababu ya tabia zako. Hazipendezi, hazifurahishi.
Hapa kwa sababu you see tuko kwa media, and in the media I only talk things that I can substantiate what I say. Mnaweza sema nimefanya propaganda, lakini nikienda mpaka kwa hizo magazeti, nikienda mpaka kwa hizo clips nitawatolea that can support everything that I say. So whatever I say out of conviction. If I ask you, what has Ruto done against Rwanda? What has Ruto done against Tanzania and Uganda and all those countries?
Go and ask the president who made that kind of a statement warning Ruto
to get himself walikosania mafuta.
Mtu yeyote anasema kitu chochote.
Kuelezewe. Uganda walikosania mafuta. Yeye anataka apandisha mafuta Uganda, mafuta pesa mingi, na Uganda hawataki. Wakagundua ya kwamba akona ukora ndani mwake. Wakamwambia biashara zako za ukora hatutataka.
Nikuulize na mimi swali.
Mkora na yote ambaye anasupport mkora ni mkora.
Sijakataa mtu anaweza itwa mkora, lakini lazima tuonyeshe wa Kenya ukora wake uko wapi? Anji, nataka
Ndio hiyo
kukuuliza swali.
Anji
Umesema
amekwambia mambo ya
nataka
mafuta. Anji
niwapeleke pole
ashakwambia
pole
mambo ya mafuta.
bila bio, na ili kwa
Na
sababu tunasema
Anji
ukweli.
amekwambia mambo ya mafuta sasa hivi.
Ngoja sasa, bora
Sasa
mnataka
hivi
tuondokee mafuta. Reverend, nataka kuuliza Anji swali.
tumetenga.
Ngoja, kuna mtu hapa ananiambia Jeff Boro, you have just lost a date. Sijui ni nani alikuwa ananipeleka date. So anyway, Angela,
Get out of that place. Get out of that place. Go to the date. Get out.
Reverend, tafadhali.
Wacha niulize Anji swali.
Angela, umesema ya kwamba mtu anauzia Uganda mafuta bei gani? Kwani Ruto ndiye huwa anauzia Uganda mafuta, Angela? Or what are you trying to tell?
Mafuta ya kupita, mafuta ya Uganda inapita Kenya.
And it's the boss in Kenya. And you don't even answer him because that kind of equation sasa hiyo ni
unajua lazima tuende pole pole. Sasa umeagiza vitu za Uganda. By the way, I have lived in Uganda myself for 6 years. Kwa hivyo ukiongea mambo ya Uganda, mimi mwenyewe ni kama mtu wa Uganda. Mimi mwenyewe ni kama mtu wa Uganda. Nimekaa Uganda.
Kwa US ukiwa Uganda. Mburu. Ile miaka uliishi Uganda sio miaka yenye iko sahi na Uganda. Mburu, wewe unataka kuishi US na uko Kenya. Unajua Kenya zaidi kushinda sisi wale wa Kenya wenye zile vitu tunaona. Ona, acha kuambiwa.
Sasa Anji, nilikuwa nakuuliza hivi. Haya. Mtu akiagiza vitu ng'ambo, Kenya is just a port. Na kuna pesa yenye iko standard yenye huwa inalipiwa port. From there the transportation is done through the trucks or the train to Uganda. Ruto hapo kwa hiyo mambo ya mafuta ndivyo nilikuwa nataka uelezee wa Kenya. Anaingilia wapi?
Anaingilia hivi, anaweka ushuru ulio juu zaidi. Museveni akifanya investigation akajua penye mafuta inatoka na price yenye inatoka na venye yeye anawekewa ushuru na anaongezewa pesa zingine zaidi, akaona si hivyo, na huyu ni mwenzako jirani, mbona umulipishe juu zaidi kushinda venye
so the tax
hata tukawa na motorist walikuwa wana fuel Uganda na wanakuja kufanya kazi Kenya because mafuta inapita Kenya. Na kwenye inapita ikiingia Uganda, kwenye inapita iko expensive, kwenye inaenda iko cheap. Then tunajiuliza, how is it? How? Mbona
juzi tulifanya
na ushuru wake pale akawa ameongeza, akawa amewasukuma lazima wataichukua na pesa kiwango hiki. Sasa kwa vile hawakuelewana ndipo wakafanya nini? Wakakorofishana. Sakaya na Samia Suluhu hawaelewani sababu ya nini? Biashara. Yeye anataka biashara ya pesa ya juu na hawajafika hiyo kiwango. Hawaelewani juu ya nini? Hizi pesa wakimuuliza ukikata hii ushuru ni wapi unapeleka, haezi elezea. You understand?
Angela, ukiangalia kwa saa hii, kwa sababu tulikuwa na hii show hapa na watu wakasema mafuta Uganda iko very cheap na Tanzania kuliko Kenya. Tukachukua karatasi na kalamu hapa, tukaangalia hata exchange rate na hata kwingine huko kwenye mnasema, tukaona hata iko juu kuliko Kenya. Ukichukua shilingi ya Kenya badilisha na shilingi ya Uganda uliganishe, utakuta ya kwamba hiyo tu ni mambo ya fitina, sio ukweli. Uliangalia, na ningetaka hata wewe mwenyewe uangalie mafuta Uganda alafu ufanye hiyo balancing na exchange rate, you will know that is not the truth. Mafuta Kenya haiko bei ghali kuliko Uganda na Tanzania as we speak, as per now. We checked here na hata sasa tuangalie, tutaangalia na tutaona ya kwamba hiyo haikuwa ukweli. Wakati mwingine tunaamini siasa na inakuwa ni uongo. So the only big problem yenye mimi naona na nyinyi watu ambao wanasimama na upande wa Azimio ni kwamba mtu akiguza upande wenu na waambie ukweli wenyewe yeye anaona, mnakuwa na shida kubwa sana. Maana mmezoea kuambiwa yale mambo mazuri, lakini makosa yenu hamuyaoni. Mnaona makosa ya president, mnamuita majina, na nyinyi hata hamujaitwa jina hata moja. Ukiambiwa hapa na hapa unahebu hivyo.
Hatutaitwa jina, hatutaitwa jina, maana hakuna kile kibaya tumekosa na chenye tumetenda. Ndio maana hiyo majina haiwezi tokea, lakini I'm very sure kitu tukifanya kitu iende wrong,
sasa
jina itatokea.
Sasa Angela, wacha nikuambie, kwa sababu unajua tunasema ukweli ukidhihiri uongo hujitenga. Wakati tunasema watu karibu sana Leo, wakati tunasema ya kwamba watu wanakubaliwa kufanya maandamano kikatiba, maandamano inastahili kukuwa na amani, na imeelezewa pale mtu asibebe kitu chochote ambacho kinaweza dhuru mwenzake, no weapon, na watu wakuwe peaceful wakifanya hiyo maandamano. Maandamano kama haya yalifanywa na lawyers Kenya. Hakuna wakili hata mmoja alirushiwa tear gas. Maandamano kama hayo yanafanywa na doctors na nurses in Kenya. Hakuna hata mmoja anarushiwa, and these people demonstrate against the government.
Yesterday in Baringo, teachers were demonstrating. What did the police do to them? Waliwarushia tear gas. Did those teachers have rungus and mawes kwa mikono?
So, wacha nimalize.
No, let's be realistic.
You see,
wanaandamana juu ya usalama. Badala ya kuwapa usalama, waliwarushia tear gas na kuwatawanyisha. Nini tuonyesha?
Angela, nilikuwa nataka kukupeleka pole, maana hii inaweza ikasaidia hata watu wa huo mrengo, kwa sababu chenye huwa kinafanya wengine wetu hatuwezi jihusisha na ODM. Sio kwamba hatuwezi, ni kwa sababu ya zile tabia tunaona. Hawezi imagine mimi sasa niingie katika mrengo wa ODM nione watu wenye tuko side moja ni vita na uharibifu na matairi na mawe kwa barabara. I can't be party to such kind of things. Na katiba imeelezea vizuri sana. Kama na ujue pia polisi wako under the law. Ukikuwa peaceful na hujachokoza polisi akurushie mawe na aonekane akurushie tear gas na hakuna makosa umefanya, huyo polisi hata anaweza akastakiwa na afungwe hata na atishwe kazi. That is why we have the bodies monitoring the police.
After the other day in Nakuru, doctors were demonstrating. Some police waliwarushia tear gas na kuwatawanya, na hawakukuwa na chochote kwa mkono. Hawakuchokoza polisi.
Namalizia kwa sababu mimi hata sikuwatch, hata sijui unaongelea nini hiyo. Maybe tutaangalia hiyo clip alafu then we be in a position to discuss. Kile ambacho mimi nimekuwa nikiona kwa upande wa ODM, nimekuwa nikiona vijana wamebeba rungu, wamebeba miti, wengine wamebeba vitu tofauti na mabango. Na hizo ni vitu za vita, hizo ni silaha za vita according to the constitution. Kama hao vijana wote wangekuwa kila mtu ako mikono tupu, hakuna kitu umebeba, polisi wawarushie mawe, mimi mwenye naongea hapa nikisema hiyo ni mbaya, ningekuwa wa kwanza kusema polisi walifanya mambo. So, that kind of things, mimi kwangu huwa ninaona ya kwamba tuzipendi kabisa.
From what we've seen, it is no longer banditry. Actually, it is terrorism. So we want to ask the president to really come forward and fight this thing once and for all.
So Leo, haya, kwa sababu umetuwekea hiyo, ungetuwekea hata rally ya ODM so that people can see what I'm talking about. You see, nyinyi watu, you have to be fair and be seen to be fair. Uko unakimbia sana kuleta mahali hapa sisi polisi sijui walifanya nini. Tuwekee rally ya ODM na mawe na nini watu waone cheje ninasema. So anybody who is gentle cannot support such a party. And it is not once. This has been there for as long as Raila has been in politics. That is why I distance myself from such kind of politics, and I can never support such kind of politics. Maana mimi nikikuwa kiongozi, there is what we call the vicarious liability. I am liable for what my supporters do, whether directly or indirectly. It is my work to tell them because they don't know the constitution.
Ali Hassan Joha wasalimu. Kongowea oe! Kongowea mambo! Mukongangari kinoma. Mimi nataka kumwambia baba, hawa watu ambao unaona hapa, hawa ndio walinifanya kwa mara ya kwanza nikiwa mbunge wa Kisauni. Hawa wakanifanya nikawa gavana wa kwanza wa Mombasa. Ni kweli si kweli? Ni kweli si kweli? Kwa kutumikia chama gani? Na sisi wana Mombasa ni chama gani? Na hawa ndio watakaya kunifanya kuwa rais wa taifa la Kenya siku ikifika. Si namna hiyo? Si mambo ni kujipanga? Si mambo ni nini? Nani amemwambia mtoto ya Mombasa hawezi kuwa rais? Iko mtu amesema namna hiyo? Iko. Ile kitu mbaya naomba tu tukae imara katika chama cha OD.
Rio, we cannot hear you. We just see videos that we don't know whether they are relevant or not. What was the relevance of that to the show?
You wanted a rally. Nimekuwekea. That was ODM rally, I think. In
no,
Mombasa.
you that's being ridiculous. You know, that's you know exactly what I meant and what I was looking for. So anyway, that's not a demonstration rally. You see, now is there anybody who tear-gassed them? Nobody. Why? Because they were peaceful, and that's what I mean. Na Wakenya wengi ambao wanapenda amani wanakataa chama cha Azimio ama ODM ama siasa za Raila Odinga kwa sababu ya fujo, si wafichi. And that is why in the event that tukue na mtu mwingine ambaye anapenda amani from that side of the country, you find that there is a high possibility that person can be more acceptable. Kwa sababu hakuna mtu anataka biashara zake Nairobi ati kila wakati kukiwa na uchaguzi watu wanafuga biashara, watu wanaogopa. I have friends who have lost businesses. Others mpaka inafika mahali wanajinyonga, wanajiua kwa sababu ya siasa mbaya za Kenya. And this has been ongoing from one government to the other. One government. Na unasema you are still a father of democracy. What kind of democracy is that? I totally disagree with such kind of things. That's how I feel. That's me. Rio, back to you. Moderate.
I don't know if it's like Angela I've gone because I'm just seeing the face of
Angela is here.
A kid there. I don't know. I'm just changing some settings from my end. You know, my power keeps on disappointing me. The kid is agreeing with the mom. That is good, yeah. Oh, that is great. So, Angela, if you can hear me, just some winding up comments, some final submission as we wind up. Good.
Mnanisikia?
Tunakusikia kabisa, Angela.
So, mimi nasema hivi. As much as Mburu anatetea serikali, anasema serikali iko sawa, anasema sisi wa ODM tuko na kasoro, but pia serikali yetu iko na kasoro. Umeona ile kilipu leo amecheza pale. Those were teachers in Baringo. So, in Kenya it means whether you are in a peaceful demonstration or not, you will be tear gassed.
So how when you wako Baringo, were they against, I mean, are they watu wa Baringo, are they supporters of the government or against the government?
Watu wa Baringo, in fact, they are the supporters of the government.
So kwa hivyo tunaweza sema
Walikuwa
police are
wanalia
not
tu
biased.
serikali
We can say the police are
walikuwa
not
wanalia
biased. We can say the police are not biased kwa sababu ni kazi yao kudumisha amani. So what I don't know is exactly what transpired on the ground to warrant the tear gassing, because I haven't followed that case. Actually, I have seen it right now. But you cannot compare that to what I'm talking about. I'm talking about very serious matter of people carrying weapons in the name of demonstration. That can only happen in Kenya. You cannot try that anywhere in any other democracy. Yani unarushia polisi mawe. I mean, I really don't understand what you people stand for.
Unajua Mburu, wewe unajua Mburu, shida uko nayo ni hujawahi shuhudia hiyo maandamano. Huwa unaiona kwa mtandao, hujawahi simama pale na macho yako hivi ukaona polisi akirushiwa mawe. Huyo polisi anarushiwanga mawe wakati wenye amefanya nini? Ameanza kuchapa watu. Like they just wanakuanga tu very arrogant. Wanaanza kuchapa tu watu wenye wako shughuli zao from just nowhere. Juma waandamanaji wanapita. Then what do you expect in return with those people?
The mistake number one.
The mistake yenye polisi wanafanyanga, wanakujanga na viboko, wanaanza kufukuza hao vijana wafanye nini? Watoke kwa barabara. Na wamebeba mawe. Ni nini unatarajia?
Mistake number one is for you to have that stone. But that by itself, that's a weapon.
What if I can just carry that stone and I'm walking
ukuwe tu na nafasi moja tu ya kunisikiza, isikuwe tu ni argument. Maana hapa tunaelimishana. The fact that umeshika kijiti ama umebeba jiwe kwa mkono, by law, that is wrong. According to the constitution, you are not supposed to have any weapon with you when you are going for demonstration. So the fact that you have that stone, the fact that you have that stick, it gives the police the authority to punish you or even to arrest you because you are carrying a weapon with an intention to commit atrocity or to harm. So that is the work of the leaders to tell the youth or their supporters that, you know what, you are not supposed to do ABCD. And that is my problem. Yani unaona watu wanakuja kwa rali yako wamebeba rungu na mawe wameinua hivi juu, lakini huwaambii this is not what we have come to do. That is my big problem. Halafu unatuambia you are the father of peace. Mimi nitawasema ukweli kabisa, you cannot be father of peace when your supporters are harming other people and harming businesses and throwing stones to police. Mimi ningetaka hivi, wakati polisi anaonekana akipiga watu wenye hawana hatia, anachukuliwa hatia. Watu wenye wako innocent anachukuliwa hatia. That is the only way we can build a civilized society.
Mburu, wacha nikwambie, in Kenya polisi mwenye ana hatia hakuna siku amewahi chukuliwa, sheria inshawahi mchukulia mkondo wake ikamfuata. Instead, what they normally do in Kenya, polisi akiua mtu Kariobangi, the only thing they will just do, they will have to transfer him from Kariobangi to Kisumu police station.
Angela, sijui kama unajua kuna body yenye huwa inaangalia the conduct of the police in Kenya. Na polisi Kenya hata
the same board ndio wenye huwa inafanya transfer. How many cases have you had Mburu on social media claiming that police have done people and yet
Those are the police in Kenya.
You keep on interrupting us, and you are not giving us the real. You are not giving us the real picture of what we are discussing. Sometimes you are even interrupting us out of the topic. So, Angela, ile kitu ambayo ningesema ni hivi, nimekuwa nikifuata siasa za Kenya. Nimesikia wengine wakiwa na very deep tribal sentiments. Siasa za Kenya shida yake ni moja, ya kwamba our politicians are not responsible. Chama chenye kimeachiwa fujo, hooliganism and violence is the party of Azimio. Many other leaders have tried to exercise a lot of decorum. Ruto alikuwa against the government with all his supporters. Hakuna wakati mliona Ruto, hata kama president was against him, hamukuona Ruto akifanyia Uhuru demonstrations na watu na mawe na nini. He has never, not even once. Even when he was being mistreated, Ruto had never called for any demonstration. And he had the ability to do it. Why? Because he believes in civilized kind of politics. What about Baba? Akosewe kidogo, Kenya nyote mtakuwa kwa barabara na mawe na miti na kuvunja maduka. I mean, I don't believe in such. I don't. Wanario, I don't know what is happening on your side because we are expecting...
From my end or...
Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I've just, the power was off, so, for it to restart and things to get in order. That is what I'm... But at least I can hear you people.
So, nikaona mtu amesema hapa that what we are waiting in Kenya is rebellion. Rebellion because Ruto and Gachagua are Kikuyus. To me, that's very strange, because it should reach a point whereby when we see each other, we don't see each other with a tribal eye or a tribal angle. That wewe ukiniona unaona Buru, unasema huyo ni Mkikuyu. Nikiona Rio, nasema huyu ni Mjaruo. Nikiona Angela, sijui nasema huyu ni kabila gani. We will only be a civilized society wakati tutakuwa tunaona mtu na yule mwingine kama Mkenya. Na mtu asiniambia ati Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa rais, kwa hivyo mimi nikikuwa na ambition ya kuwa rais sistahili kusimama maana mimi ni Mkikuyu. Like Uhuru Kenyatta was a president on my behalf. Kila mtu anafuata ambition yake na kila mtu anatafuta njia yake ya kimaisha. So nobody becomes a leader on behalf of anybody. Leo saa hii ukitaka kupata uongozi, mtu asikuambie Raila Odinga alikuwa prime minister or such kind of things. We should refrain from such. Then level number 2, vote for people because of what they stand for, because they represent you and the things you'd like to see happen in your country. But don't vote for people because of the tribe they come from. That is where we go wrong. So nikiona mtu anakuja kwa TV anasema ile kitu tunagoja Kenya ni rebellion na revolution against the tribes, na shida huyo mtu anaishi karne gani? Saa hii dunia inataka kuwa moja. Dunia inataka kuwa moja. Tanzania, Kenya na Afrika inang'ang'ana kushikana tukue nchi moja. Na wewe unafikiria kuhusu kabila lako. I mean, I like it when we come here in the show and I see all people from all walks of life, from all tribes represented here, and we talk and we don't talk about our tribes. Let us be competing on ideas, not on the tribe that I come from. That is the only way we can develop our country. Ati tunafanya fujo mpaka tunauana kwa sababu wewe sio kabila yangu. Even wild animals don't do that. Kuna wanyama wa kichakani, wengine weusi, wengine weupe. They don't fight. Why human beings who can sit down and reason, who can try to dilute these tribal feelings, So nikisikia mtu bado ako na ile kadi ya kabila langu, nashangaa sana. We should reach a point whereby anybody, regardless of where you come from, so long as you have a vision and you have good ideas, you can be voted and become anything in the Republic of Kenya. That is the kind of a nation we would like us to build. Mr. Rio, Go ahead.
I don't have much. Me, I just want to. I was giving you people some chance to wind up, so that we can wind it up for now. I know there's a conversation that will continue. It's the conversation that is going to continue. Actually, the entire weekend, this is what is going to be even preached in the worship areas. You know how Kenyans do politics, and just wait. Those people who will be attending mass on Saturday, those ones who will be attending mass on Sunday, this will be part of the conversation. So as Kenyans, we will really be happy to see one of our own maybe heading the African Union. That's a plus to us as a country. And if there is any good thing that comes from the AU, then we stand a chance to benefit. It's not the first time we've seen Kenyans holding international bodies, even at the UN, with the former Secretary General Mohisa Kitui also coming from Kenya. So Kenyans are great, and people believe in them. As for maybe the Kenyan politics, I know people have got different views. I've heard so many people saying that no, Raila should not go for that because he's always been the alternative voice in the country when things get bad, and he always ensure that he piles the pressure. So people believe Raila going there will give the person in power an opportunity to just do whatever he think he can do, because there will be nobody who will have got all that strength and courage to oppose him. So it's upon Kenyans to weigh, do you need international recognition, or you just need Raila to keep doing what he's doing back in this country? But again, people need to think Raila will not be there forever. So people should start fighting for their own rights. People should start calling for their own demonstrations. People should start opposing government and taking cases in court and help Okia Omtata in doing so. So they don't need to depend on Raila that much. So it's going to be a defining moment in the Kenyan politics. A lot is going to change. Whether if Raila will indeed go for the seat, it's going to make a lot of changes in this country. So we just wait and see and hope that what takes place should be better for all Kenyans. So maybe, Angela, you can give us your closing remarks as we wind up this show. We've been here for 3 hours, so it's good if we wind it up now.
Maoni yangu ya mwisho ni mimi na Mburu na mwingine tuelemishane, we come out of a better Kenya. Si ile Kenya ya siasa ya fulani ni mubaya, yes. Tunataka sasa fulani mwenye si mubaya, tunamfanya aje ndiye awe mzuri. Tusikuwa tu tunalaumiana. When we still on a blame game, tutalaumiana hadi mwisho na tutakuwa tunaendelea kuumia. So, tutafanya aje ndio Kenya ibadilike? Hayo ni maswali tujiulize. Umesema kitu, Raila hatakuwa pale hadi mwisho. Kuna siku itafika, wakati wake utafika, ataondoka. Akiondoka, ataacha nani kwenye pengo? Hata sisi wenye tuko chini, tuamke, tuwaze mbele vile yeye huwaza. Tusiweke tu akili yetu mahali pamoja, tutakuja kukosa mwelekeo siku nyingine. Lakini mimi naambia Wakenya 2027, kabla upige kura, fikiria mara 10. Ukifikiria mara 10 uweke chini 10 points, utapata the right person to vote for. Ni hayo tu.
Thank you so much. Mburu, tuko kwako.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, on my final remarks, I want to dwell on the Raila Odinga going to the AU position. It is my prayer that he gets this position. It will be a win for Kenya, because Kenya will be heading Africa in a way. So Raila Odinga can decide to use that position to boost our economy by supporting our tourism industry, trade and investment. He can be our ambassador out there. And also, Raila Odinga exit means sustainable peace for Kenya, of which I know many people disagree with me. It means there will be no more government sabotage like we have been seeing the government projects being sabotaged. No more chaos, no more hooliganism, and a lot of animosity that we have been seeing in the politics of Kenya, which to me, to some extent or to a greater extent, I blame it to Raila Odinga. It is also a plus or a win to the Luo Nyanza people. And why do I say that? It's because the Nyanza people will now have a chance to elect somebody different from the Odinga's family if they wish to liberate themselves. This will be the best time because Nyanza people have never known leadership outside the Odinga's family. That dominance, this is the right time for the Nyanza people to liberate themselves when Raila Odinga will not be in the active politics. And I also want to say it is also a win for Raila Odinga himself because the position is very powerful. He will be earning even more than the president of Kenya, and he will be among the greatest people in the world. It's also a win for our president William Ruto. It means peace of mind. It means also that William Ruto will not have a strong opposition come 2027. And the only disadvantage we have is that without Raila Odinga in Kenya, government impunity is likely to increase, and also corruption is likely to increase because we need a strong opposition in Kenya. So with those many of your remarks, God bless you. God do you good. Thank you so much, Mr. Leo, for giving me an opportunity to come to your show and give my views, which sometimes some people feel uncomfortable, but I speak what I think. Thank you so much. God bless
Thank you, Jeff. I just
you.
want to make this clarification. You know, I come from Nyanza, from a place called Siaya, and I want to tell you, as a matter of fact, my MP is in a party called MDG. It is not the first term. It is not the second time. Historically, I had an MP called James Orengo, who was in a different party from the party that Raila Odinga was in. When James Orengo joined politics, he joined in KANU. When he left KANU, he went to Ford Kenya, that was formed by Jaramogi, who was Raila's father, and actually he was Jaramogi's lawyer by then. And after that, when Jaramogi passed and Raila formed his own party, James Orengo remained with Ford, and he managed to win elections. Later on, James Orengo, together with Charity Ngilu, formed a party called SDP, and Raila was having his LDP. It also happened in 202 when Raila was supporting Mwai Kibaki. Orengo contested as a presidential candidate. So we used to elect Orengo, despite the fact that they used to disagree with Raila. And sometimes it turned chaotic when there was meeting in Ugenya, and Raila was having a meeting in Ugenya, and Orengo will even mobilize people, and it used to turn chaotic. Apart from that, in Uganda, we still have the current MP who joined politics in ODM. After that, he formed his party and he's been elected. We've had people being elected, like last election in Ford Kenya, somebody, the Kisumu West MP, until the people got tired with him. So in Luo Nyanza, there's always this perception that people elect only in ODM or people who are associated with the Raila Odinga. That is not true. That one is for the people who've not been there. If you've been there, the only thing that happens that in ODM, those people who participate in ODM, there is never a winner. At the same time, there is never a loser. If today, Jeff, we contest with you in ODM nominations, and you know very well that I've won nominations in Mekushinda, you will say that you didn't lose. Raila alipatia mtu mwingine, and the person who the other person pia, they'll say that person did not win, huyo mtu alishikwa mkono. It is a matter of fact. If you lose ODM nominations, that one does not stop you from going to other parties or going as independent. And if it is indeed people like you, they will vote you. I'll give you an example. Muhammad Ali in Mombasa, when he lost ODM nomination, he went to a different party. Did that one stop people from electing him? It tells you he had people behind him. It has happened in my constituency, Ugenya. We have Kisumu. There's a certain Indian called Onyango Jamogo, somebody, Shakir Shabil, the Kisumu East MP. He lost ODM nomination, went and as an independent, was elected. He's now serving another term without ODM because people love him. But if you see somebody like Kidero, you lose nomination, and you go for independent, people still don't elect you, it will tell you that it is not a matter of ODM or Raila not wanting you. It is people who don't want you. If people want you, hata ukienda independent, they'll elect you. So we should stop this kind of thing. I just want to tell people that this idea that we normally feel that, oh, huyu mtu Raila amtaki, huyu mtu kwa sababu support Raila achaguliwi. We've seen people being, it means people don't want you, not Raila don't want you. And that is why you've seen anybody who've lost in ADM, if you lose nominations and you go as an independent and people don't elect you, it tells you people don't want you. It has happened. There are some who lose nomination, they go and they get elected. So Jeff, wewe ukipendwa hata ukuje na party inaitwa karatasi party, people will elect you. So we should start this blaming that huyu hapendwi, because I don't think ODM goes with people kwa ballot. I want to give you a case study. People elected Oburu Odinga as a senator in Siaya, majority. And even the person who contested against him will come and tell you, Oburu won. Like, nobody was forced at gunpoint to have a pigia Oburu. Oburu campaigned, and people said Oburu, when he was an MP of Bondo in Siaya County, Bondo was not the headquarters. Bondo was the most development ikapita Alego Usonga, which hosts the headquarters of Siaya. So people will tell you, when Oburu was MP in Bondo ndio ilikuwa na barabara zile za lami. Raila was MP in Nairobi, that is Langata, not at home. So the guys say, okay, we want to elect this guy as a senator. The same used to happen with Orengo. Nobody will even dare compete with him. So this kind of belief that we are told that we are sons of the poor and they are people who are dynasties and they're the ones responsible for our problems, we need to get out of it. Jeff, you come from a Central. Do you want to tell me if today you believe that people who are in Central who are poor because of Kenyatta's family, even you would be poor? So people who buy that mentality will forever remain poor. There is no dynasty, there is no anything. What will William Ruto tell people in 2032? She was a deputy president. She is a president. Or who is a dynasty? I think dynasty who've been in, actually, if I am to compare, the Ruto's family is now joining the league of dynasties after Kenyatta and Moi. Jaramogi cannot be called a dynasty because Jaramogi never became a president. Currently, we are now having 3 dynasties. We are having 3 kings, King Kenyatta, King Moi, and King Ruto. So this kind of mentality, we need to tell our people, the ones who listen, that let politicians not cheat us that there's a dynasty. The only tribes that are in Kenya are 2, the tribe of the rich and the poor. The people who will line and beg and worship MPs to give them bursary, that is the tribe that we need to identify with. And we tell these MPs that, okay, now if you want to contest, tell us what you're going to do. Don't tell us you are poor like us, and we know very well you are not poor. Let us give it to Reverend to give his final remark. That was just an information. It was not part of the debate, but I was just trying to tell Kenyans the problem we have, why our problems will never end, why people will keep on hating each other. Yet we love each other, we stay together. My neighbors are Kikuyus, my neighbors are Kalenjins and Kisis. We don't fight, we eat, we borrow unga kwa nyumba ya kila moja. So this thing that comes now, ikikuja kwa politics, somebody want to tell you that, you see now, that tribe, wale wanarushanga watu mawe. Jeff, I'm sure where you stay, or maybe where your relatives stay, they stay with the fellow Luos. They stay with people who support ODM and they are safe. Na hakuna mtu anawarushia mawe. So these things only comes wakati wa siasa, is when we are told we are different. But ikikuja business, the most business partners in this country are Luos and Kikuyus. They do business like nobody's the business. And if you look at your contract, you'll find that somebody is a Kikuyu, mekanika wake ni Mjaluo. Somebody is a Luo, ule mtu anaendanga kupatia nini ya insurance ya gari yake ni Mkikuyu. And that is how we live. So let us live the way we live normally. Ikienda siasa pia tuifanye hivyo. We do politics the venye watu naishi kwa majirani. So let us not put on these other lenses zenye tunapewa. Reverend, your last remarks, and maybe if you can preach a bit. Amerudi. Siasa haina makasiriko, amejua. You know, in politics, Jeff might be saying something here, lakini mkute besides politics atakwambia hata hiyo nilikuwa nasema tu. That is a matter of fact.
Oh my. Reverend, we can't hear you. You are muted.
Mi nasikia tu nakunywa kafe, kwa vile nikimaliza kafe nita contribute.
We are
I'll
finishing.
Thank you.
Just give the.
Goodyear is saying something. Goodyear, you know, this is politics. The thing that you call Orengo a golden chair, Orengo never bought that chair for worth 1 million. Those were politics. Actually, even impeachment, Orengo told you in the previous regime that these impeachments are political. So if it is politics, tunataka impeach. We saw what happened in Kisii the other day. They were impeaching, they were signing to impeach the deputy governor. If I'm the governor and I feel like Jeff is not like cooperating with me politically, then I look for some political ways and create story and such kind of things. But as a matter of fact, if you just come back to your senses and you look, I want to tell you of some leaders that I do respect, the Luo leaders. One of them is James Orengo. Another one is somebody called Professor Nyang' Nyong'o. Those two gentlemen, they are not having appetite for public funds or public money. Orengo started putting on a suit worth 200,000, 207. Miguna wrote in his book using his own money. Orengo is a lawyer who is one of the biggest law firms in this country. That if today you can't go to Orengo to represent you with less money, you need millions. He deals with some great cases. He makes his money. He is somebody who actually have invested in himself. He doesn't have prime land like you see these other leaders. Mtu akishaingia anataka akuwe na shares wapi. Go look for somebody called Professor Nyang' Nyong'o. Umewahi sikia biashara wanasema eti Nyang' Nyong'o ndio ile alinunua hii nyumba, alifanya hivi. He lives his private life. He doesn't interfere with the public money. So there are two people. That one besides politics that I can tell you that haven't no appetite for public money. I know several Luo leaders who have appetite for public money. Ya kipata MP, ni governor, they acquire property. One of them is the Bigori governor, the current and the former one. They're just acquiring property. They want to buy and own everything. But these two gentlemen, they only have their homes, and the only thing Orengo does that, which is part of his life, he likes alcohol and yeah.
Mr. Rio, I like how you like defending your
no, he's my
of,
governor, and I know him beyond that. Even when he was campaigning, Jeff, I'm the one
if
who
that
formed the
case,
first group. Yeah.
If that case of corruption was done by the other side, you'd be putting those videos for us all the time.
Which corruption? Which corruption?
That one of the 1 million chair and what
1 million chair. They were not saying that Orengo is the one who bought. The case was that the deputy governor bought. They were saying that it is the deputy, Orengo's deputy, who bought a chair of worth million. So they were using it against the deputy, not against Orengo. There was no case.
If the corruption case which was put forward about Orengo was another governor from Kenya Kwanza, ungekuwa unatuwekea hizi video hapa.
No, I put it. There was no case against Orengo, Jeff, unless
you never see. You never see anything evil on the other side.
I see it. I'll tell you.
Even when I talked about the Odigas, dominance, you try to dilute it, look like it was just a small thing I'm talking about.
No, there's no dominance. Jeff, today you are a father. Let me ask you. You are a father. You have your children. Today, if you get an opportunity, a company you work for, they want to employ, you'll first of all bring your child.
You see,
that is the role of a father. You need to take care of your family.
You cannot deny facts. The fact is, in Nyanza or the Luo people have never known politics minus the Odinga's family.
I've just mentioned for you here.
No, don't tell me about the MPs. You know exactly, and the viewers and the listeners know exactly what I mean. That is right from independence.
Tell me about governors.
That dominance, that Odinga's dominance, this can be a good chance for them now to try to look for politics without the Odinga's family. And at least for us, we had a break from the Kenyatta for a very long time. The rule of Moi, Kibaki now before we could get the other Kenyatta. So it's also a good thing to have fresh people represent you, people with fresh ideas, and that cannot happen. And you know, people of us
framing a question like this, it is not Odinga. If you talk of the Odinga has been dominating the entire country, not Nyanza. If you talk of ODM party,
I'm saying most the people who are largely affected by the dominance are people from this tribe. And this
Busia has got the majority of people.
I said it on a writer. Actually, I said it on a writer note.
I want you to put the
it is
fact
up
that
to
we
the
don't
people to
lead our
decide.
people.
If they want to take, want to take Winnie Odinga as now the heir of the father, nobody will say no. You know, nobody will say, "Apana, who you are." It's upon them. But everybody know what I'm talking about when I talk about the dominance of the family dominance in a region. They understand clearly what I mean. Now, and also how those appointments and the elections are done within the ODM or the side that Raila Odinga controls. Everybody knows what happens. And you have seen people here coming openly and saying, people are hard-picked, not through elections, not through being voted. There is no what we call a democracy in the party.
So, Jeff,
that
before
wasn't.
you continue,
That
the
wasn't
question I was asking somebody,
argument.
a fellow Kenyan, somebody who is reasoning. These political parties, they do nominations. That is true. Even UDA, Jubilee, any party do nomination. That is not the final. If the nominations are the one to determine who becomes the MP, then Kenyans can say, we were not allowed nomination. But nomination is to determine who represents a party. After that, Kenyans go on ballot, which is not being monitored by these political parties. So anybody who tells you that I nominated Jeff, but Jeff was denied the nomination, then Jeff came as an independent, then I now, instead of going ahead to vote Jeff as an independent, I voted somebody who was nominated by party. That person doesn't have brains. And first of all, that person need to be given brains and to be told why you vote. If I like Jeff, I've nominated you. Somebody else, the Odinga or the Kenyatta or the Moi or the Ruto comes and say because they don't like Jeff, they bring somebody called Angela. Then at the end of the day, Jeff still makes it to the ballot. I have the Angela whom I did not want and the Jeff whom I did not want. So if I vote Angela, it means I did not want Jeff or I don't have brains. So we should not blame these kind of people for that. I've seen.
You know, Leo,
you tell me.
You are talking as if you don't know the party effect in Kenya.
That is why we need
you are talking as if you don't know the purpose of the party ticket. Party ticket is very important, especially now for those who are contesting in central Kenya. If we are not with UDA, definitely the chances of losing was very high. In Nyanza, without ODM ticket, the chances that you're gonna win are very minimal. So those are obvious things that you cannot deny. So the party ticket.
Who do we blame in this case, Jeff? In your humble opinion, who do we blame for this?
We also blame because democracy should be seen
blame
from the political parties level, of which the heavyweights. If they don't want you, you won't get the ticket. So the people we vote for are determined by the owners or by the heads of the parties, which should not be the case. And you know very well that. So telling us,
ask a simple question: who do we blame? Because after this nomination, the Constitution of Kenya is the best constitution. It gives you an opportunity to go as independent. So
you see,
do we blame Jeff who refused to vote me because he loves me as an independent candidate and voted party, or we blame the party?
We blame the party because there is party. There is also what we call the party dominance, and there is also a reason why we have the parties. The parties are supposed to promote democracy right from the party level. You see, if that democracy is not being seen in your party, even when you become the president, we don't expect you to give us democracy in the country.
And I think this thing happens in all big parties.
About a person.
Yeah. How many people are handpicked from the only two big parties that are having this problem is UDA and ODM. They are parties like NAK Kenya.
The only party that have a big problem, a very big problem of handpicking is.
I'll give you the reason why it is UDA and ODM. anything that is popular. Like nowadays, I just want to give you some joke that they used to tell me in my village, that the most drunkards are teachers. Then I had to sit back and I wanted to know, why do they say the most drunkards in this village are teachers? I counted the number of teachers who are in that village. I counted the number of doctors who are there. I counted the number of engineers who are there. And I found out that the teachers were the majority. And because teachers were the majority, everybody were looking at them. In that same, in one town, there were only 2 doctors versus 200 teachers. So out of these 2 doctors, if you meet one doctor in a bar, that is 50% of the number of doctors, and you go and meet 10 teachers, which is less than 1%, then people will conclude teachers are drunkard. Why? Look at this party called ODM. It attracts most people who want to contest. Look at UDA. You go to party like Nai Kenya, they never even hold elections for these official. Actually, the only party that have never done elections for official is ODM. UDA promised one in December, it did not happen. ODM did it once, the one that was botched, even if it did not succeed, but they tried. Look at these other small parties. People were just being unpicked, but nobody talked about it. When it came to UDA in Nairobi, they decided to unpick some, to negotiate and such kind of thing. People talked about it. It happened in ODM. So it tells you that kind of pressure whereby you're having 10 people, everybody wants the same thing. It has to happen. We have to learn and accept that as Kenyans, we are not yet matured democratically. We are not yet mature democratically. And if we are mature democratically, we will go the Nyali way. When they felt that they liked Muhammad Ali, Jichopevu, and because Joho was the one who was in charge in Mombasa, Joho is not Odinga's family, and Joho's cousin was also contesting. So they thought that Joho's cousin is going to be preferred. What did they do? Despite Joho giving his cousin the ticket, they rejected Joho's cousin on the ballot and voted Muhammad Ali. In my constituency, people did not vote an ODM candidate. This is the second time people voted somebody who was not in ODM candidate. The same Siaya, when the nominations were not done well in a constituency called Alego Usonga in 2017, they elected an independent candidate. So we have to say that voters need to mature. Me, voters in Ugenya constituency are always mature enough. Even today, if I go without a party, without even money, and they like my policies, they'll vote me, and I give it to them, and I say I come from a place which is mature. We come from Siaya, but we never vote on party, and we are never concerned about the nominations. So if you find people coming from Busia, actually Busia has got the majority of people elected in ODM, even more than Siaya and Homa. It is followed by Homa Bay, then Mombasa is when you come to Siaya. Siaya, I think, is number 4. So when you go to people of Busia, you find them voting somebody because of party influence. Then I want to tell those voters, they still don't have brains. They need to come to Ugenya, where I come from, and get brains and know why they are voting.
That's an insult towards the people.
Yeah?
I think you should withdraw that statement. You cannot tell people they don't have brain.
No,
the problem is
I want a glass and you give me plastic.
You see,
and I'm still glad I pick plastic.
If you cannot assure democracy to your party, then when you go out there, you start crying, there is no democracy, you have been rigged out, I don't know all that. You feel the same as the other people feel when you
and
you
by
skip
the way,
them.
as a matter of Nini, I went through the ODM constitution. There are 4 ways of getting a candidate.
I know you can defend that the whole night.
I'm not defending that. I want to
very
tell you.
late, very late on my side. I didn't know it's already morning.
I don't know if you support
Yes.
UDA, but if you support UDA, in their clause,
I'm not supporting anything. It was just a sentiment.
I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying for those people who support UDA will tell you that in the UDA constitution, there's a clause of how to get a candidate. It is not a must that people go for nomination. And Jeff, you looked at last year's election. Did UDA do nomination in all the positions?
No, some positions were uncontested. Others were negotiated. But in your party, in ODM, there is no negotiation. Whatever Baba says becomes the rule.
Kidero and the rest were called and Kinambadi in a meeting. Then some protested. And remember, the same person who was protesting. Let me tell you, Jeff, why I normally say human beings to deal with them is hard. In 2013, when we were having the first elections, Evans Kidero from Mumias came to Nairobi. ODM had a candidate by the name Margaret Wanjiru Bishop, who was supposed to become the governor. He was the MP, the Stare MP. She was the one who was supposed to become the governor. Kidero came, did not participate in any nomination. They gave Kidero the ticket. Margaret was denied. The same Kidero was given a direct nomination in 2017 and he lost to illiterate Sonko. Then in 2022, when now he was told that now we are also negotiating, we are giving Gladys Wanga a ticket, then it becomes bad. And we say mukuki kwa nguruwe ni uchungu. Ni sawa, lakini kwa binadamu ni uchungu. So we are human. You cannot satisfy people's needs. Let us close this. I can see.
So before you opened the debate, just something which is lingering in my mind.
Yeah.
When Raila goes to the AU, which I pray that he goes, he gets that with all the blessings and our prayers and the supporters to release him wholeheartedly. I have just discovered that people are trying to hold him. Nobody wants Raila Odinga to go to AU. And the prayers of the supporters can hinder him from sailing through. But the question which was coming in my mind is, what will happen to people like Martha Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka? How will be their fate? Because I was thinking that it will be very hard. It is only a miracle that can happen for Raila Odinga to support the Kalonzo Musyoka to become the president. For me, that's just my opinion. I think he's likely to support or to nurture somebody from his family, or maybe a child, a son or a daughter of somebody from the Odinga side. Then Martha Karua, huyo mi naona akipotea kabisa na siasa zake zitafika mwisho.
Okay, I know that is a topic that we'll need to look at what will happen to Azimio. And there is one thing that people don't know, that I know they need to be told, that leaders are never appointed. And that is what even happened. If today, Jeff, like Uhuru Kenyatta held some people's hand, gave them support, and that one led to their downfall. It's a fact. Like today, for example, Raila can come and tell people, okay, nataka mpigie Martha Karua. It will depend with the people accepting or not accepting. So what people will always tell people is that, sir, this is the right time. And leaders do emerge when there's a vacuum. This is the right time for Kalonzo to emerge and prove to the Azimio supporters that he can take care of them. Then it will be automatic. Raila will not even have to tell people that it is Kalonzo. This is the time that Karua need to show her worth. This is the time that Wajakoya need to show that he can do it. It happened when Jaramogi Oginga Odinga died in 1992. Was it 92 or 93? I don't know, 94. People thought that James Orengo was going to take over. James Orengo was the one who was close to Jaramogi. Raila was nobody by then. Apart from James Orengo, there were people like Kiriatu Murungi. It happened that Raila saw some vacuum and he emerged. How did he emerge? First of all, when there was some elections of which Orengo was supporting Kijana Wamalwa to take over. Orengo, a close ally of Jaramogi, was supporting Kijana Wamalwa. Then Raila said, no, we cannot allow this. We cannot allow this leadership to go away. And he stormed that meeting. It was in Thika. Actually, it was not in Kisumu. He stormed the meeting, walked away, and that is how he formed his party. And the people who saw how courageous he is, and think that is when people believed and started following him. So these other leaders, Kalonzo, it is high time that he get out of the house. I saw he started doing something good. He started getting people close to him. And currently, if I tell you, one of the believers of Stephen Kalonzo is Babu Owino. He's really campaigning for him. They are working together. He needs to get people like Sifuna on his side. He needs to inherit these people, have them work not only in the Eastern. He needs to go. I saw him going to Central, which is good. He can easily sell there. Akuje Coast and the Western. That is what Ruto did. He did not wait for Uhuru to tell him that niwewe. He started getting Uhuru's friends like Muturi, Uhuru's children like Ndindi Nyoro. You get it? Then he made these people believe in him, and they said that, okay, then there is life past Uhuru. If Uhuru retires, then William Ruto can take care of us. So Ruto grabbed it. So Kalonzo and the rest and Wajakoya should also grab this opportunity. I think this is the best opportunity. But the people that I have to say, I come from Luo Nyanza. There's one thing that people don't know. Raila or the Dingas family in Luo Nyanza, they are not seen as politicians. It is a symbol of unity that unites the community. The only two things that are uniting Luo community, that if you want to interfere with, I'm telling you, that is why people will even kill you. Number one is the Odingas, which is currently held by Raila. Number two is something called Gor Mahia. Those are the two things that unite Luo community. If today you destroy, you finish Gor Mahia. Number two, you go and destroy the Odinga family. Jeff, there is going to be nothing called Luo. We are going to have people from South Nyanza. We are going to have Joe Alego. We are going to have Joe Ugenya. We are going to have Joe Siaya. And nobody. That is the only uniting factor. Of which, if today something happens that Raila, I know if he exists politics, he will still remain as a symbol of unity. But if something happens that he is no more, death is inevitable. Everybody can die. So he will one day die. The only thing that will remain uniting Luos is Gor Mahia. Let nobody tell you that there's any politician that will come and unite Luos. They are not united to Raila because of politics. There is some chord, there is some unity that was created by Jaramogi. Until today, people tell us that these guys are not Luos, but people are still united. There's something, I don't know what Jaramogi did that brought that unity. And apart from that, Luos are normally controlled by something called Juogi. Juogi are some spirit, some good spirit. So the other thing that is having those Juogi is Gor Mahia. That is why there's a time that you had the government to interfere with Gor Mahia.
Listening to you is just interesting. I can be here the whole night listening to your story.
Yeah, those two things.
Leo, can we end the show? We can start from there tomorrow. It's already morning here. I didn't know the time is far much gone. Thank you so much. I wish we can end the show there.
Thank you so much. Let us end this. Guys, it's been interesting. Let us meet next time and we continue. These are frequent. That is how we do it here.